It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook, facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning.
Play Cupid again because Valentine's Day is soon.
What?
Every day this week, we're going to get someone to win a 12-pack of Heineken Silver and a $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry. And you'll be qualified for a $1,000 gift card. Of all the people that win with us, as we play Cupid for Valentine's Day, someone will win that $1,000 gift card from Moody's Jewelry.
Hooray!
No, babe, I didn't win. Yeah, you like my watch?
Yeah.
Best and worst of the weekend. That's coming up. We'll find out the best thing that happened and the worst thing that happened. Our listeners are awesome. We love talking with our listeners and hearing their stories. Jeff Hensley will join us. If you've got a question about divorce or custody or guardianship or any of those things, Jeff can answer it when he's in the studio with us at 9. Get your question to us ahead of time. The email address is show@kmod.com. Or you can text it, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945. And you can also call when he's in at 9 at 918-460-KMOD. We've also got our 50th anniversary concert we've announced. Tickets are on sale now to celebrate 50 years as your rock station. Shine down in 3 days grace. We're playing at the BOK Center in April to help celebrate our birthday. Come join us. Cake and ice cream, unsure of so far.
I wouldn't say no if there was any. Oh, shoot.
So I can say this because I've already told her.
Uh-huh.
My wife's birthday was this weekend. She wanted the special cake. I got the cake.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked.
What kind of cake?
It's just a cake from like a place in town.
Like a sheet cake?
No, it was like a pretty cake.
Okay.
She wanted a pretty cake.
Okay. Was it like vanilla, chocolate, yellow,
Yeah,
white?
yeah.
Just cake?
Just like, I think they call it the flavor wedding cake.
Okay.
So like almond, like almond flavor is what that, like
Okay.
wedding cakes like that almond flavoring.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just not good.
Well, did you ask to speak to a manager or
Oh, no.
complain or
What? No,
get your money back?
Had you had it before?
Yeah.
From that place?
Yeah.
So
And
you
no
were
problems.
expecting it to be good.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if I think it's good, right?
Yeah, it's your lady's cake.
It's her birthday. If she likes it, that's all that matters.
Well, did she?
No, even my kids didn't like it.
Oh, hell, that sucks. You know it's a bad cake if kids don't like it. Oh.
My kids have sweet tooth, but they don't love cake.
Okay.
It's just not their thing.
Gotcha.
Cookies, they like cookies.
Mhm.
But so I'm like, last night, hey, do you want to have some more of my birthday cake?
do I have to?
Go
I think I'm going to have cereal.
Damn.
She was like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry if this hurts your feelings, but it's not good, which it shouldn't hurt her feelings.
I
Right.
know.
It's her cake.
She
didn't make it.
Exactly.
Right.
Who cares if she didn't make it?
Yeah. If she made it, you have to eat the whole thing.
No, I
You
don't.
have to. Oh, yeah.
No.
You have
No.
to at least eat, what, second helping.
As someone who does the majority of cooking in my house,
Mhm.
I do not expect you to eat it if you don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you, who forces bad things on people? That's some weird, like you have zero
Mhm.
confidence.
Mhm.
Your self-esteem needs work type of thing.
I think that if your partner took the time to bake this cake, and made it, let's just say it was your birthday or whatever, and made it, and it's all special, and you're like, you have to choke it down.
No, I don't want to be in a marriage like that.
You just be like,
You should try it.
Yeah.
You
That's
should
the
take
rule.
more than one bite, I think. But definitely you do not have to
Nope.
power through it. Good.
Hey.
No, that ain't me.
Uh-huh.
And that wouldn't be a surprise to my wife. I'm not that person. I unapologetically wear my emotions on my sleeve. Sorry.
Growing up, my dad's parents, like they didn't have a lot of money. And so when my dad was little and my aunt, for their birthday, they would say, what do you want for dinner? And dessert would be like their birthday cake or a pie, whatever special cake they wanted.
Yeah.
My dad was huge into blueberries. I guess he loved blueberries, but he would get blueberries and cherries mixed up. And he would say, I want a cherry pie. Well, my grandmother would bake him a cherry pie, and he didn't like cherries. So every year he would cry because he would get this cherry pie when really he meant blueberry. And she would bake this cherry pie and he would cry and she'd go, what's wrong? And he says, it's not blue. Why is this red? And she goes, you asked for cherry pie. And he goes, but it's not blue. And she goes, well, then you should have asked for a blueberry pie. And he would eat it, even though it's not what he wanted. And after, I don't know, however many years this went on, he finally decided, I would like an angel food cake, please. And so when
Grandma's out there killing angels.
Right. When I came around, I was like, why do we have an angel food cake every year for your birthday, Dad? And that's how I learned that story. And I couldn't stand her angel food cake. I thought it was horrible.
She made it herself. She just didn't go to the store.
My grandmother is was very good baker and she could do all the things. But I always thought that the angel food cake was just kind of bland. Like you said, and the
angel food cake's pretty bland.
Yes. And her icing was just very dull. The chocolate icing, it just tasted like cocoa powder to me. It wasn't sweet enough. And then my mom's mom would make the box angel food cake for him.
Yeah.
And that one was delicious with the strawberry icing.
Yeah, Betty knows what she's doing.
You have to mess that. You have to try and mess that up.
Exactly. And it was just so good. So different. So that's when you say bad cake, that's what triggered me. It's like, oh, I remember that. So, but yeah, he would scarf it down. The cherry pie.
Oh, you have to. You asked.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's different. If you go make me chicken and dumplings and I make it and it sucks, you bet your sweet bippy you're eating it.
It's true.
Right?
So
if you
true.
ask me to make and you mess up because you think you thought blueberries, but you said cherry, sorry, chatty.
Right.
You're eating it. No, yeah. I remember being little and being forced to eat food that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like sit there and eat, which sounds so insane to me.
Yeah, same.
Like it's not like I'd never had it once, sit there and eat it.
Right.
It was, I know you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
We made it anyway.
Yeah, right.
And don't leave the table till it's done.
You're right. My job is to make sure you have a meal in your belly. I provided said meal. Now eat the
What kind of
thing.
psychotic method is it to make something you know they don't like, knowing you're going to make them eat it?
Well, that depends. How many people are in this family? And is the majority rules like they like it and you're the only one that doesn't? Sorry, Charlie.
It's psychotic to then make them eat it. Let them starve.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you got to make another meal.
Right.
I get if that's your rule, that's your rule. But to sit there and make like everybody's left the table
Mhm.
and there's little Corbin,
Oh.
they even would turn the lights off because I took too long and we were done.
Mhm.
So to sit there and make your child eat something or anyone
Mm.
that doesn't like it sounds so insane to me.
You eat this, whether you like it or not.
Yeah,
Eat it
you will
now.
eat every bite of the stuffed green pepper.
Yeah, just put on my plate what I'll eat.
Mm.
The mashed potatoes. Just leave off the Brussels sprouts. When I was a kid, I hated Brussels sprouts. I'd throw them underneath the table, and the dog wouldn't even eat them.
I don't know many dogs that like Brussels.
No.
But, I mean, whatever.
As I'm older, though, I think they're okay.
Oh, I love them
yeah.
now. I love them
As a
now.
kid, though, you're like, I don't want these little balls of farts. Get out of here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little mini cabbages.
Yeah,
I made-
salt them and pepper them and roast them.
My first wife loved carrot cake. She was like, make me a carrot cake for my birthday. So I made carrot cake and found a good recipe, right? Like did the carrots, bought the cream cheese, did all that.
Mm.
Set it down. She's like, that looks awesome. Happy birthday to you. Cuts the cake. She's like, why is it orange? What's the orange stuff in it?
Derp.
I'm like, carrots. She goes, well, I don't want carrots in my cake. I'm like, it's called carrot cake. I've never had carrot cake with carrots in it. And so
was the hiccup you
So
were?
I was quoting her.
Okay.
And she wouldn't eat it. And I was so offended.
Yeah, you asked for it.
It's totally the blueberry cherry thing. Your
Mhm.
ignorance
Mhm.
has caused me Oh, God.
Yeah.
How you going to ask for a carrot cake not knowing that there's carrots in it?
I mean, to be fair, a lot of carrot cakes don't. It's usually a spice cake.
Okay.
And they put a cream cheese frosting. They're like, "Herper," and they put a, frosting carrot on it and go,
Right.
"It's carrot cake."
Yeah.
You went literal. Actual carrots.
Listen, if you ask for pasta, I make pasta.
Right.
If you ask for lasagna, I make lasagna. I don't make something else.
I'm just giving you what you wanted.
I remember being like, "Sorry."
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
She was pissed.
Here we are.
Sorry.
12 blissful years later.
Oh, no, that was my first
Oh,
wife.
that was the first one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hence the,
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. Makes sense.
yeah. So I don't make people eat things they don't. If you don't like it, sorry.
Was that your first and last time making a carrot cake?
With that wife, that was my one of my last of a lot of things. No, I'll make stuff for people. I don't care.
Yeah.
I think it's nicer when you make something
Yeah.
for somebody.
I agree.
I'll gladly make you a cake. My kids don't care. My wife used to go and buy like these beautiful cakes for their birthdays
Mhm.
and like, pay a baker, a real baker,
Right.
maybe even like a Weekend Warrior baker and do, make it look like Bluey or whatever.
Right.
$80. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Wasting money is what you're doing.
We're buying these small cakes for that much money and they look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
My kids don't care.
Mhm.
They're like, blah, 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 back to playing.
Yep.
And I'm not getting a piece because they're not very big.
Mhm.
Let the kids go first, then our guests, right? And so we're not even like, why are we doing that? But $20, I get 24 cupcakes at the resource
Yeah.
with their
Right.
delicious whipped cream topping
Yeah.
frosting thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
For a little extra, you can get a picture of the kids on the
I'm
cake.
telling you. Or go to Sam's Club has fine cupcakes.
Mhm.
They're very good.
They are delicious.
Yes. Why are we blowing our money? Our kids are not going to grow up and go, man, that cake. And I was 3. Nope.
It might send them down a bad path, man. You like stop doing these fancy cakes, and that's the switch that flips right there. And the next thing you know, there's skinning cats out there in the forest, microwaving frogs and stuff like that. And it's your fault because you went with the cheap cake.
Yeah. I think
Mhm.
as a parent, if you could pinpoint the thing that spirals them to whatever crazy thing they do in their life, unstable relationships, horrible with money, addiction, whatever that is, you can't pin it
No.
or else everyone would avoid it.
Right.
Right? It'd be a very thin book.
So true.
It's so different for every kid. So I'm not wasting my money on cake. They were good though, man. One of them, do you know what the crumb layer is, Gimpy?
No.
So when they do like a multi-layer
Layer
cake,
crumbs, yeah.
they're supposed to put like a sort of like a liquid base down on top of it, and then they take some of the cake and crumble it up and put it on to help the frosting stick, right?
Okay, sure.
This bitch would take graham cracker
What?
and grind it up
Mhm.
and do like the little liquid thing, and then do the graham cracker and then do frost. Oh, son of a bitch!
Yum.
Yes. It was like a whole other treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the moment you've had cake when they do the raspberry from
Oh,
in there, and you're
yeah.
like, what happened?
Mhm.
What have they done to the cake?
Mhm.
What's this little sugary confectionery thing? I love a cake with a good cream
Yeah.
filling.
Mhm.
It's a game changer, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's what I love about snowballs or the Hostess cupcakes.
Okay, because they
Yeah.
got the little cream injection right
Yes.
in the middle of them. Okay.
If the donut shop by our house, they do marshmallow filling.
Okay.
You can ask to put marshmallow filling in the donuts.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, some of that cream or that filling, whatever, is just too sugary.
Yeah, it
Too
is.
sugary,
Yeah,
man. Like,
yeah.
it makes my teeth hurt.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not at Whole Foods. I'm asking, I'm at a donut
Exactly.
shop.
Right.
Yeah.
We watch TV shows and they're doing the dessert challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
With the cooking shows, and they're like, this is just too sweet. Bitch, it's dessert.
Exactly. It's supposed to be.
Yes, I don't know what that means. It's not balanced. Huh? I don't want my dessert better be sweet. I better go, who dog that rich
Yeah.
and push it away.
Yeah, yeah. You need a fair balance, chocolate, cake with some brown gravy on top.
No. No.
Fair balance between sweet and savory.
I love when we'll go to some fancy restaurant, being a stupid foodie that we are, and I'll look in the menu, the dessert menu will have like, lava cake, or custard with, caramelized grapes or some stupid thing, and then cheese plate. I'm like, what's this? Why is an appetizer on the? They're like, well, they're dessert cheeses. Bitch, what's a dessert
I was
cheese?
about to
I
say
don't
the
know, but
same thing. What is this dessert cheese you
It's
speak of?
cheese. I'll spoil it for you. It's cheese.
That you eat after dinner.
Yeah, it's just cheese.
My after dinner cheese.
It's like we've
Sound great.
gone to restaurants and they're like, oh, it's an after dinner drink. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh? So next time we go, because we got after dinner, like it's delicious. We go, we sit down. Can we get you a cocktail? Yeah, can I have whatever this Carrillo or whatever? They're like, oh, that's an after dinner drink. Okay.
I want it now.
Yeah, I wanted.
Right.
You just asked me if I wanted a drink. Like suddenly I'm putting the world in tilt.
Right. You're judging me?
Yeah, I'm like, just okay. Pretend I've already eaten and I'm judging your tip right now. Can you go get that?
Exactly.
Goat cheese, aged Gouda, blue cheese, Fontina, Havarti, mascarpone, some other cheeses, pecorino, fresh ricotta and brie. Those are all dessert cheeses.
And I've seen them all on a charcuterie.
Exactly. I never knew that dessert cheese was a thing. I keep wanting to see breakfast cheese. And I'm hungry for cheese.
It could
I
be
guess.
breakfast. Here's a spoiler. If they can make a dessert cheese, you can call it breakfast cheese, Gimpy.
Absolutely.
Next time you're having brunch at your house with some mimosas, feel free to break out some cheeses
I've got a nice selection of breakfast cheese.
and sweaty meats.
Get out of
Listen, I love a good charcuterie board. I do. I love everything about it. But when you think about it, it's disgusting and goes against everything I stand for.
here.
Room temperature meats.
Right.
Hot,
An
sweaty
open
meats.
space with people sneezing and breathing all over it.
Yeah.
Using your hands. It goes against everything that I
Yeah.
stand for. But sweet Bippy, I will eat the hell out of one.
Uh-huh.
I love a good charcuterie board. All right, we're going to play Cupid for Valentine's Day again. 12-pack of Heineken, silver, and $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry. And someone's going to get qualified for that $1,000 Moody's gift card. And Jeff Hensley will join us. Question about divorce, custody, guardianship, adoptions, any of those questions Jeff can help with. And he will be on with us at 9. We'll be back.
Tulsa's.
Why? Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm
There,
not looking.
too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah,
You get to
definitely.
embellish a lot on those.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog.
Mhm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I
Yeah.
thought it would just,
It's a great picture of me.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are two ways to pick up women, in my opinion.
Mm.
A dog at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
God, I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids
Mm.
at school
Mm.
where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it.
Mm.
All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk is going to start his own page if he's single.
Gimpy.
I don't know. I don't know where to start, and I don't want to know where to start. So my advice to this person is figure it out your damn self. All right. Go find somebody and ask them if they got a big schlonger. And if
for
that's
tight
the
pants.
answer's yes, then okay, well, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. But then there you got your answer. But I don't know. I have never searched for a guy with a huge schlong. I have no desire to search for a guy with a huge schlong. Now I'm out. I have no advice for you.
If you asked me where to find information on molecular science, I wouldn't be able to help you. Nor am I a resource for this. I'm just making an assumption. You might be focusing on the wrong thing.
Eyes up here, lady.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
If your objective's just to get that,
Mm,
go to the bar and ask guys.
absolutely.
They will gladly tell you.
Mm,
And be ready to call them out on it. Because every guy is going to say they're a horse. That the Jolly Green Giant ain't got nothing on them.
when I had first pierced mine way back when I was in high school, you're proud of it. And I was talking to this gal, Amber, I think is what her name was. And I was telling her about it. Oh, yeah, penis is pierced, did it myself, blah, blah, blah. Now let's sit. Okay. So I had no choice but to present myself to her. Oh, it just goes to prove his point. You're going to have to be prepared for them to, whip it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're going to have to be very assertive. Did you end up sleeping with her?
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
Why you say that?
I asked for the dessert tray. I'm getting dessert.
Not if it's ugly.
I don't know anything about that. Mind-reading brain implant allows man to talk again. A 36-year-old patient who's being known as Pancho is the first person to try a mind-reading brain implant that lets him, quote, speak. He was paralyzed from the neck down by a stroke at the age of 20, and the device has allowed him to communicate at around 7 words per minute, despite only being able to move his eyes. After all that time, he did have something important to tell the researchers. They put the implant in. What do you think the first thing he said was?
Hello.
It's fantastic. I'm obviously asking because it's not hello.
Can I get a churro?
I'm hungry.
Not far off.
Uno cerveza, por favor.
I think they're just calling him Pancho. Not sure of his ethnicity.
Just saying. Why else would they call him Pancho?
This hospital food sucks.
Nice.
Well, I mean, he's speaking the truth.
He's like, if I could just tell him about the hospital food. Guys, I think it's working. He's about to say his first words. Everybody gather around. The hospital food sucks. Because it's a robot, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Somebody get him an in and out.
Yeah.
All these stories are on our Facebook page at Facebook. Not I love you, not thank you,
Right.
not
This is incredible.
Yeah, none of those things.
What's
Hey,
that
I've been
say
waiting
for-
16 years to say something. None of that.
Mm-hmm. What's it say about the hospital food if it's that bad? Like all that overshadowed by the hospital food.
I mean, you kind of want to go, hey, it's just one guy's opinion.
We all know.
But he's been in the hospital 16 years. He's been like, oh, God, if I ever get the chance to talk again, this is
Man who killed Kevin Bacon charged with first-degree murder.
I mean, 5th degree?
6th degree?
6th degree?
Yeah. So this happened in Michigan. A judge has decided that Mark Latunsky will face a charge of first-degree murder after a degree hearing. The murder degree hearing for Mark Latunsky continued for a second day. This happened last Wednesday. He admitted to killing and mutilating Kevin Bacon, who is 25 years old. In court, he accepted a plea into open murder. The hearing was for the judge to determine if Mark will be sentenced for a charge of first degree or second degree murder, and the judge decided on the former. Back in 2019, Kevin Bacon, his body was found in Latunsky's home. He and Kevin Bacon met on a dating app, according to investigators. Kevin's body was hung upside down with a slit throat, according to police. Investigators also say that the man's testicles were removed and eaten.
This is a thing.
by
How many
Latin's-
stories have we read about castrations?
Mhm.
Yeah. At least a small handful that I can think of. I didn't even mean to do that.
I know you didn't. I could tell just by the way you delivered it. Yeah. It feels like we've read, it happened here in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Some guy come down to meet two other guys, and they end up cutting his balls off or something like
Yeah.
that. Is it for fun, or are they, trying to prove a point? I don't get, because me personally, I would never chop my balls off for fun.
No.
Is it a Musa muffin thing? Like you go for a little BDSM, just like tightening, and then there's some menacing people out there like, I'm just going to slice them off.
Right. Let's see how far we can take this train. Okay.
That doesn't,
Mm,
I cannot piece together these stories. This is one of the stories we do that I'm like, I don't get it.
right.
I don't get why it happens. I don't get the people that are up for it.
Yeah.
Not that this was a willing participant. We don't know that part.
Right. The only thing that I can think of is obviously there's some kind of mental issue where the person whose balls are chopped off maybe has like a sex addiction or something to that effect. And they think that that's the only way they can get over it. The only way that they can cure themselves is to cut off that part of the body.
Okay.
Yeah. So therefore they won't have that sexual desire anymore, whether it's, raping babies or
Like
just,
dogs.
Yeah, that too.
The idea that that's what you do to dogs, so they don't want to hump.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is more of a Jeffrey Dahmer situation where the guy.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. We do news quickies about this time. These are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page at facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for news quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Florida man angry over baggage fees makes bomb threat at the airport. This happened at Orlando. According to the arrest report, Danny Curry and his wife were at the Orlando airport, prepared to take a Spirit Airlines flight from Orlando to Pensacola. And while talking with an airline supervisor, Danny was upset over the airline's carry-on bag fees and allegedly mentioned that the plane would have to be deplaned because there was a bomb on board. He said, I bet you everyone on the aircraft is going to deplane. There's a bomb on that aircraft, he told the employee. Curry's wife stepped in and told the employee that her husband's statement was not true. The employee then called 911 and he responded, you want me to say it again? Curry reportedly said after 911 was called, the FBI, TSA, police, and canines and the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority responded to the gate, got everyone off the plane, searched the plane, and checked all luggage that was on the plane. There was no threat, and the flight was allowed to continue. Curry told an Orange County Sheriff's Office detective that he said, what if there was a bomb in that plane?
It's a question.
The detective noted that the man was remorseful and did not realize the impact his statement would create.
Congratulations, you're a dick.
He clearly has not seen Meet the Fockers, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that story and I was like, how far away is Pensacola that you're taking a flight?
Yeah.
It's an hour flight. It's a 7-hour drive.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. From one end to the other. Okay.
wow.
So then that makes sense all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. He was arrested and booked into jail.
Sure.
Yep.
As he should be.
Sure. And now he's probably on some terrorist watch list.
Exactly. He'll
geez.
probably
And
never
banned
fly
from flying,
again.
yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Dumbass.
You think flying's an inconvenience without that problem?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Mother turns son into police for carjacking a pastor. This happens in St. Louis towards the end of January, as a matter of fact. This preacher walks out of the church and he's greeted by two kids with guns. They got the gun in his face and they say, give me your wallet and your phone and your keys. Well, he says here, he's like, I can tell by the pitch, their high-pitched voice that they were young and they had no idea what they were doing. So he complies. He gives them his wallet and his phone and the keys to his wife's 2016 Dodge Caravan. But the kids don't know S about F, right? The preacher helps them take the club off the steering wheel, even shows them how to start the car.
Like,
The
helps them.
club?
Helps them. He's like, I just don't want to get shot.
Work's never done.
Right. So these two kids hop in the car and they take off. They go speeding down the street. Didn't make it that far because they smash into a couple of other cars down the road. And anyhow, hop out and then take off on foot. Mom of one of the boys gets word that this was her boy that did the jacking, turns him into the police. All right, they go to court. She's like, hey, I'm responsible enough. Can you just release him to me instead? And the judge is like, nay, that ain't happening. So this kid's currently being held in the juvenile detention center there in St. Louis, and they're still looking for the second child.
I mean, I understand where the pastor's coming from.
Right.
He's like, this might be the moment that changes them.
Mhm.
Hey, man, I had a gun in his face and he still showed me how to undo the club, how to start it, and maybe change it from AM to FM.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he said. He's like, I press charges because I want them to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
But
Mhm.
he's like, hopefully this will be the turning point for them and this won't define their life.
Yeah, never give up hope, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Big
Good
brain.
character right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Police on hunt for stolen Shrek statue. I feel like I don't do this very often, but please go look at the photo of this statue. The fact that anybody's looking for it is astounding to me, or would take it. Furthermore, Susan, this was posted to the police station's Facebook page. You know what wasn't? A story about a penis that was found in a parking lot.
Who did this statue? Like a 6-year-old?
Massachusetts police are on the hunt for a stolen statue of Shrek. The Hatfield Police Department launched a search this week for a 200-pound cement statue of the film famous Org after its owner reported it missing. In a post on the department's Facebook page, the thief was asked to return the statue, mostly because the dragon sculpture he lives with is frustrated and lonely.
Oh, geez.
Shrek is the
my
fictional
God.
green-skinned orc depicted in the popular series from DreamWorks of the same name.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it kind of.
It's green.
Yeah, it's green. But it doesn't look like
Its ears aren't even in the right spot.
I
No.
think Shrek weighs a lot more than what they're depicting in the statue. So,
And taller.
yeah.
Someone made that.
Yeah, and is proud of it. Is he wearing
I
a
mean,
skirt?
Proud enough
It
to
was-
report it.
It was probably like an art project, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, so they're like, oh, a child did this. So let's, put it on show. Let's showcase it.
Yeah. 200 pounds.
Mhm.
Here's what happened.
Mhm.
Mom or dad was tired of seeing it. They put it in the garden
Yeah.
because their
Let-
kid made it. And they're like, Mom, the statue's, well, someone must have stolen it. That's the way life works sometimes, honey.
Yeah.
Well, we got to call the police. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Really, they just threw it in the trash.
Or dismantled it.
Right.
It's now
Yeah.
at the bottom of a lake.
Right.
200 pounds?
Yeah.
Babe, we got to go move that statue. I can't look at it's scaring me when I have
Uh-huh.
coffee in the morning. It's crazy how ugly this is.
Yeah, it is.
It has no feet.
Oh.
No.
No, it's like wearing concrete shoes, man. Like the mob's about to throw them into the ocean.
And its torso's massive.
Those eyes.
Yeah.
They're creepy.
I mean, orgs are ugly, so it doesn't matter how ugly it is. It's on brand.
I love that you're calling it an org.
This an ogre.
Ogre, yeah.
They've got layers.
All right. All these stories are on our
Creepy.
Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
More of the Big Man Morning Show is
Superman, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the movie where they landed the plane in the
Mhm.
headset, that's what that was about.
Yeah. So if it was going to, shut off anytime something flew into the engine, well, they wouldn't be on the ground or they wouldn't be in the air.
And what type of plane are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
A big one, a small one.
If it's a regional airport,
seater?
it's hard. No, it ain't a big one. But
Yeah.
anyway, crazy.
Yikes.
Got to take a break. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. That was 30 years ago.
Did you get any of the guts on you?
What is it?
No,
are
it
you looking
projects
at
out.
a statute of limitations here to see if it's okay?
Totally.
Let's just throw
I
your
didn't say
head
okay.
cocks in the fan. Come on.
Small town police station rocked by wild sex scandal. This is in Tennessee, where a small town police station was rocked by allegations of wild sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on duty liaisons, according to reports. Officer Megan Hall and her fellow law officers allegedly engaged in wild sexcapades that included sending dirty pictures, taking her top off at a Girls Gone Wild hot tub party.
What does
And-
that mean? They were filming it?
I guess so.
Give him a free hat.
Yeah.
Right. What is a Girls Gone Wild hot tub party?
I don't know, but I'm interested.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some with young kids, huh? Were there young kids there? Underage?
I don't know.
Don't
It,
know,
doesn't- it
Lindsay.
never
'Cause that's
said
what
that.
Girls Gone Wild was most of the time.
That is true. That is true. And even having oral with 2 officers at the Laverne, Tennessee police station
At the same time?
at the same time.
Get it, girl.
The steamy shenanigans in which Hall allegedly bragged about the size of one partner's genitals and
How is
claimed
that worthy of the story?
she claimed to be in an open marriage. She not only led Hall to be canned, but led to the firings of 2 sergeants, 1 officer, and a detective, according to a December internal investigation. 2 other officers who allegedly had romps with Hall, they kept their jobs but wound up being suspended. The extracurricular activities took place at hotels and parties at other officers' houses and on a boat, while she was also
On a
accused
boat.
of performing oral sex on 2 officers while on duty at the police station and police gym. Officials began to look into the swinging personal lives of the officers when the mayor himself received a tip that she was sleeping with several fellow cops
Mayor didn't get the tip.
and had a threesome with an officer and his wife, among other claims. They were dismissed for violating police procedure and lying during the investigation, who had been witnessed choking an HR employee.
She's a whore.
God.
Yeah, I know, right?
What? That's
I mean,
whore.
if she wants to be promiscuous, so
Mhm.
what? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're on the job,
Exactly.
that's obviously completely reckless. And multiple people you work with, also extremely reckless.
Yeah.
It creates a system of resentment, right? People like don't like it or whatever. You create problems that way.
Only
Don't-
the other female officers that aren't getting railed by the
and
other
let
dude
no,
officers.
guys get way jealous, dude. So
Why,
if you're
because they're
like,
not getting any,
no, maybe, or ones that are like, no, she was with me. Like,
uh-huh.
yeah,
Well,
it
that's
is not
my
healthy.
girl.
That
Did
is
you know that your mother is a whore?
Yeah.
Right. The HR director who authored the report and conducted the investigation sanctioned the 8 officers for various penalties for sexual activity while on duty, sexual harassment, conduct unbecoming of an officer, and lying during the course of the investigation. It was further revealed that Hall and many of the male officers had shared lewd text messages and pornographic images of themselves.
Good tasting tuna.
Boy, this is good tasting tuna.
Or like, hey, we're a small town. There's no crime going on.
house?
Listen to this. It says at one point during one of the parties, she was already intoxicated and was reportedly being force-fed vodka by one of the other officers.
Yeah, they're like, get Janice drunk, she'll put out.
Yeah, you can't do that though. That's bad look, man. That's kind of weird.
Mhm.
Like, hey, you heard if you get Hall drunk, man, she'll go sexually crazy.
Exactly.
That's predator type stuff,
Right.
dude.
Have another drink, Janice. I don't even know if that's her real name, but whatever.
Arresting their
Man arrested for the 70th
D-Day always
time.
comes. And for
Right.
this story, we're talking about Discovery.
Right.
Mhm. D-Day came many times for her. Man arrested for the 70th time. This comes out of Ohio, where there's this dude. He's 62 years old. He goes into his local Walmart. He has a suitcase with him. He takes a shopping cart and a suitcase, goes to the meat department, and just stacks piles of meat in his shopping cart and walks straight out the door with it. I guess Walmart, at least this particular Walmart, has some newfangled shopping carts where you get past the security gate and they automatically lock up the wheels on you. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Huh.
Never heard of that before.
How they keep that technology working? The carts
Yeah.
barely don't have a wanky wheel.
I don't know, but apparently that's what happened. Is the guy pushes his meat straight out of the past the security gate, and he's outside, and his wheels lock up. So what's he do? He just takes and puts as much of his meat as he can in his suitcase, and then just throws the rest in the dumpster. Well, of course, now the police have been called. The police find him at a bus stop across the street.
Right, because buses are never on time.
Absolutely. So they go over there. They bust the man at the bus stop, and he tells them that he steals the meat and then sells them the restaurants for half price. But he didn't name the restaurants he sold them to because he ain't no snitch. Anyhow, they ended up arresting him.
Criminal, yeah,
but
but
he
snitch.
ain't no
Oof,
snitch.
Everybody's got a line.
All right. So they arrested him, took him to jail, and apparently this is his 70th time being arrested.
Hello, Guinness.
Mm.
Is there a place in your record book for this?
Should there be a punishment after your 50th arrest? Like, hey, the punishment is you've been arrested too much.
I thought there was something different for after your third.
Depending on the intensity of the crime.
Right. Like 3 strikes, you're out.
On violent crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like rape and murder, not,
Yeah.
meat stealing from the
Right.
Walmart.
Theft,
Mhm.
larceny, right? Larcenies, jaywalking,
Right. Littering.
littering, trespassing, all those wouldn't count.
I think that they should keep him locked up for some time because this is his 70th time being arrested. So instead of letting him bond out, why don't you keep him in for, I don't know, 6 months to a year?
I bet he's done prison time.
He probably has, because the guy that's been that just, brazenly goes into the Walmart, steals the meat, and then walks out with it. He doesn't give a damn.
He went in with a suitcase.
Yeah, he knew
Yeah.
exactly what he was doing. And if this is his 70th time for the same offense, good Lord.
Best had a kick-ass bonfire and cookout. Yeah. Yeah.
Hooray!
Worse, got bit by a snake yesterday. I'm on my legs all effed up.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, if you got bit by a snake,
Damn it.
do you need to go have it, was it poisonous?
Nah,
Yeah.
man. You have somebody suck it out.
I thought you pee on it.
Isn't it? No, that's
No.
jellyfish.
Oh,
Jellyfish.
you don't want me on site.
You've been bit by a snake. Hurry up. Pee on his leg. What are you doing?
Why are you laughing, Corbin? This is serious.
Ah.
Is it?
Stepped on a jellyfish. Hurry up. Suck his feet.
I mean, if your leg's all messed up,
Yeah.
don't you need to go to the doctor?
You would imagine.
Even if it wasn't poison and just like slashed your leg up, wouldn't you need stitches?
I don't know. I mean, they're just fangs. They're just, 4 little puncture holes. So it's not like it was attacked by a mountain lion where it could have taken a chunk out.
Would 4 puncture holes be quoted as messed up? I wouldn't. That feels pretty dramatic
I
for
think it's
puncture
pretty
holes.
dramatic, but I mean, if it gets infected, that's one thing you got to look at too, because I don't know exactly how sanitary a snake's mouth is.
I mean, if it's infected, you need to go to a doctor.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sepsis is intimate.
Yes. Poisonous or not, if I get bitten by a snake, I'm going to the ER. Doesn't matter.
Are
man.
you?
Yeah. Oh, I would for sure.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. I'm pretty excited for this week. I'm just saying. I will be wearing a different Chief shirt every day because after next week, the end of next week, depending on what happens, I got to wait to wear them again.
Yeah.
Because it only makes sense to wear a football shirt during football season.
Oh, there's people that wear it all year.
I know that. Those people are stupid.
It's basketball season.
You wear a baseball jersey in the dead of winter, you go, huh?
Yeah. Oh, the Chiefs and Eagles are in the desert ahead of Super Bowl 57. Both teams arrived in Phoenix on Sunday as they get set for the big game next weekend. The festivities kick off with Super Bowl opening night on Monday. Hundreds of media members will be on hand to interview players and coaches from both teams. The Chiefs are making their third Super Bowl appearance in the last 4 years. Philly is appearing for the first time since winning its lone Super Bowl title following the 2017 season. Super Bowl 57 is next Sunday in Arizona. In Tennessee, Senators London Lamar and Joe Towns Jr. have introduced a bill that would make Super Bowl Monday a holiday. It wouldn't be an extra day off, though. Instead, the new holiday would replace Columbus Day. And if approved, this would be a change only citizens of the great state of Tennessee would get to enjoy. But it's a start, and many think it sounds like a more than fair trade-off. Smart.
No.
We say it all.
No.
We say it all the time. Columbus was a horrible human.
Yes.
So why not make the trade-off?
Because isn't Columbus Day later?
I think it's earlier, isn't it?
Isn't Columbus Day like in March? Because President's Day is coming up.
Yes. That's
So then we
the
got
20th.
So then we would have two. They have two in that state holidays. They have President's Day and the Super Bowl Monday. That makes no sense.
Columbus Day is in October.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that makes
instead
sense.
of Columbus Day, it would be Super Bowl Monday.
Yes, and then they also then get President's Day off.
Right.
Which is the next. Are you shrugging your shoulders at President's Day?
No. I'm saying keep the President's Day. Just switch the Columbus Day. Who cares?
Yeah, but that's
who cares if they have 2 days off?
And that's two Mondays. Because there are people that, I know this sounds crazy to me. There are people that don't care about football or the Super Bowl.
True.
It's just another day, another Sunday.
Work
on Monday.
If there's 50 million people that watch it, there's still way and abundantly more that don't.
Mm-hmm. I think that people would absolutely say.
With that
okay,
being
we'll
said,
take
I will be off.
Eli Manning and the NFC took down older brother Peyton and the AFC in the inaugural Pro Bowl games. The NFC knocked off the AFC 35-33 in the third and final flag football game to prevail at Allegiant Stadium. The NFC players will take home $84,000 apiece for the win, while the AFC players will collect $42,000. Geno Smith totaled 239 yards and 5 touchdowns for the NFC, while Tyler Huntley led the AFC with 192 yards and 4 scores. Tom Pelissero is reporting that Browns defensive end Myles Garrett is believed to have sustained a dislocated toe during the Pro Bowl games.
Yeah, this was so stupid. I tuned in for some of the stuff. It was dumb.
Yeah.
The flag football game I tried to watch. It was kind of cool to watch them play flag football, but it also like to hear the commentary and what Peyton's got to do is he's got to pick some plays that are. What are we talking about? It's flag football.
Exactly.
It was just a mess. They played tic-tac-toe by kicking field goals and long snaps. I don't understand. They had a water balloon catch.
Why don't we just stop?
That's like field
stop.
day at my kids' elementary school.
Yes.
That's exactly. We call it Super Kids Day.
I get like they're trying to come up with other things. I feel like it's safe to say this wasn't it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know until you try. We tried the water balloon catch. Didn't work out.
Here's a way. Do flag football, but the players that, like, if you're a wide receiver, you can't play wide receiver.
Right. Play a different position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So I get to watch, I don't know, the center be the quarterback.
Right.
That's hilarious. Or the center be the wide receiver. Or a linebacker be the quarterback.
Right.
Well, they didn't call. So they're not doing it now. It changes it up. Watching Derek Carr throw interceptions feels like the season.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original.
Appreciate
it.
Yeah. So, which, if you work hard to keep your lawn nice, and then some local Yahoo comes and lets their dog take a crap on your yard, I can understand why you would be frustrated.
Yes. However, I feel there's a way to get around that, you could put up a hot wire border around your yard, and it's not going to be like seen like a giant picket fence would or something to that effect, but it also would deter said animal from coming and taking a crap in your yard.
Yeah. Except if you're working hard to make your yard nice, a hot wire isn't exactly the most appeasing thing to make your yard look good.
Sure, all you got to do is just decorate the stakes that stick in the ground. You don't really see.
Dink, dink,
You
dink.
don't need those giant ones. Good Lord.
T-steak,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't need one of those. You can get small kits at the Atwoods that work out just fine.
Still looks trashy, man.
I don't know, but it's sure better than, I guess, having to have marshmallows with nails in your
Right.
yard.
Or you could just let your dog crap in your yard.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, people are never going to let that happen.
Or pick up after your dog's crap.
That
Even
will
then,
never
you're
happen.
smearing it across the thing, man.
Mhm.
Like you're using that non-germ protective sack from the grocery store, and you're just like,
It still works just the same.
and you literally look at it and go, I'm not picking that up,
Yeah,
depending on how it looks.
Mhm.
absolutely. If it was a rough day for the dog, nope. We'll just let the rain take care of that one.
Yeah, if the dog's feeling a little under the weather,
Right.
you can be like, Mother Nature's fertilizer
Yeah.
happening there.
Yeah.
Or you do the old left shoulder, right shoulder, keep going.
Oh.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Yes.
Yeah,
no
right.
poop over here.
Yeah, when I lived in San Francisco, I would have to walk my dog, and there's no grass,
Mhm.
right? In the city, there's no grass. I lived in the city. So only around where there's trees is there a little grass or dirt.
Right.
And some people's dogs are just trained to take crap right on the concrete.
Mhm.
They don't care.
And they don't clean it up. And you're now humans do it, but like the
Yeah.
dogs, and you just be walking and you're like, son of a bitch.
That's one of the worst
Ugh.
things. That will literally ruin a day.
Which is worse,
Uh-huh.
stepping in dog crap with shoes on,
Uh-huh.
or stepping in urine on the tile floor in your socks,
Or like carpet or something to that effect. Okay.
or because you
Okay.
don't see it right, and you're like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a shoe, you go, you're like,
Right.
oh man,
Whatever. You get a hose, you can hose it off. Your sock
Yeah.
might get a little wet.
maybe,
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
or vomit barefoot.
Ooh.
Which one? You got to pick one. Gun to your
Oh,
head.
that's easy. That's an easy
I'm
choice,
going to
Lindsay.
say stepping in dog poop with your shoes on.
Gimpy.
Urine with socks on, man. All right, because the shoes easily to wash off. The barefoot vomit, easy to wash off. You gotta hop one-legged all the way to the, or hop it up in the sink in the kitchen, wherever you're
Right.
at.
It's
Right,
on you.
it's easy to get it off. You're good. Ugh. Now I gotta walk my happy ass or hop from here all the way to the bedroom with a wet sock. I gotta change my socks. I just put socks on, as a matter of fact.
Right. Those were clean.
Ugh.
That's my favorite pair.
Wet sock, man.
Yeah. I think I'm with Lindsay. I got to do shoe, man. At least I can take that off and just spray it off.
You think that's the worst out of all of them? Because that's how I understood the question, which is worse out of those three options.
No, which one would you rather?
Oh, which would I rather have? Oh, that's
yeah.
Shoes.
So worst is for you is the
Yeah,
sock.
yeah,
Lindsay's
yeah.
worst one?
Oh, no. I think the poop on the shoe is the worst one.
You think it's the worst one?
Yeah.
That's like the second easiest one to deal with.
It's the easiest one.
I
You
don't know,
literally
'cause it gets into the crevices of the bottom of the shoe, and sometimes,
right. You got to
you
get a
might have to
pencil
take-
and scrub down.
yes, you might have to take a toothpick or something to get in there.
Mhm.
Oh,
It does
and the
have a little more
smell.
work, but it
And
ain't
the
on me.
smell.
Yeah, but it ain't on
It
me.
ain't on you.
That's where my head's at. It
Easy
ain't
enough
on
to
me.
wash off.
I don't know if it's the vomit might be the worst because the smell of vomit is just
That is true.
gross, especially
Smell.
if it's not a heel, it's more of a toe.
And if it's fresh, it's still
Oof.
the body temperature.
Oh,
Good morning. I like Young Sheldon way more than The Big Bang Theory.
if you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why?
That
Big
is
Bang
the
Theory
most
is a
offensive
giant
thi-
turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you
Young
say.
Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one. Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm gonna choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll
You
pick Big Bang
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
because of the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
but everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
whatever.
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured
Well,
you would
shows.
be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again,
Either
I think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Oh,
Yeah.
the Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Oh,
yeah.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something like
yes.
that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And,
doubled it.
I had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It was.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
Eight. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come
I
on.
don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right. Here we go. All right.
That you found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta. There better be at some point you play that out,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place
All right.
in Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne,
Mm.
right? They had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
Right.
Like, "Ooh, you can get in here, you racist bitch." All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to the phone number, 82945. What do you got, Lindsay?
We got Jeff Hensley in at 9 o'clock this morning, and he will answer all of your questions regarding family law, spousal support, child support, anything you got. Send an email to show@kmod.com. Get your questions in early.
Give me.
Yeah, man, we got a pretty awesome listener coming up soon with Our Listeners Are Awesome. Got some good stories.
Thanks, Gimpy. All right, we've got best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up to tell us the best thing that happened to you this weekend or the worst thing that happened to you this weekend. You can also text it if you want. BMMS and whatever that is to 82945. Lindsay, what's the best and what's the worst of the weekend?
The best is got a little date action yesterday with my husband. Yeah, we went and checked out the boat show. Hadn't been in a few years. And it was
They still got boats?
yeah, and I can't believe the price of some of those boats. There was a really nice pontoon boat. And it was equipped for some heavy duty fishing. It was 80 grand. I mean, it was a luxury party barge. And then there was Yamaha has got an inboard center console boat that I was like, wow, very, very, very nice. That's over 100 grand. I'm like, my God.
Was there ever a conversation like even got near buying one?
Yeah. Yeah. We went and Kevin's got a fishing boat in mind that he wants something for here, something that he can tag along to Lake Michigan. But it had been sold. the one that he's really interested in. But the good news is that the guy over at Dick Lane says, we've got more coming in.
Sure.
So
That's not the
hopefully-
only boats.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna look into it and keep him posted on that. So wasn't a total loss.
I would imagine, for those who don't know, Lindsay's husband's in the auto sales business.
Yeah.
I would think he's like, try to negotiate with me.
Right.
Like, does he feel he's got the inside track?
Well, and he used to sell boats too, so he knows that.
He feels like he can.
Yeah.
Do you think, does your husband, when people come in and go, I used to sell cars, does he go, good?
No, I think it's more like, oh, well, good, then this will be simple. Then you know how this works.
Right, just cut him off at the pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can be in the business and they can still go, no.
Yeah, it's their business.
Right, absolutely.
Right, they don't. It's very philosophical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's good.
So we did that, and that was a lot of fun. And then we checked out the Just One More little bar on Sheridan and had a couple of drinks and had fun. And then the worst part of the weekend, I made pasta Cabanero. Is that how you say it?
Carbonara?
Yes, that's the one. And it was delicious. And
I wasn't there, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
But yeah, that's the one. And I was going to do some homemade garlic bread with it. And unfortunately, I put it under the broiler, which I never do. I usually bake it. And my mom was like, no, baking will dry out your garlic bread. Do it under the broiler. Well, I broiled it and I waited too long and it burnt.
Yeah,
and
broiling will do that.
I was so pissed.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the broiler.
Did you blame your mom?
I did. I was like, damn you, Mom.
Was she there?
No,
Okay.
of course not. But if I just would have stuck to my guns, my old-fashioned way, it wouldn't have happened. So that was the worst. I wasted, a bunch of bread.
Oh, no, $1.50.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? 918-460-KMOD, or you can text it, BMMS, and whatever that is, to 82945. Gimpy, what's the best and what's the worst?
I guess the best part of the weekend been Saturday. A buddy of mine owns Shot Happens down here, 81st and Harvard, and it was their anniversary, their 4-year anniversary. So I went down there to hang out and support, and it was pretty cool. They had I won't say like a live band. It was really just a guy with a guitar and a lady singing. But I mean, how many people really need to be in a band anyway to make it a band? Nonetheless, it was cool. Hung out there for a little bit and then went over to a regular watering hole and spent the rest of the evening there. And that was probably the best part of the weekend, just hanging out with friends and enjoying time. Worst part, I guess, would be my brother and I went out to Cleveland.
Ohio?
All the way to Ohio for some disc golf. No, we went and played Coyote Creek Park up here, and it was a nice day. Saturday was awesome, minus the 20-plus mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
And that was the worst part, was just trying to fight the winds while you're trying to throw a Frisbee into the wind. That was it.
918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS. And then what you want to say to 82945. Best of the weekend, man. I mean, my wife's birthday, we celebrated that. They call it Kings and Princesses Dance, dad and daughter dance happened, which is fun. It's always a challenge because I have 2 daughters that are in that, so I have to dance with both of them. I can't. So I'm not going to dance with one and make the other stand on the side.
Watch.
Right? And I'm not alone. There are a lot of dads that have 2 daughters involved in, through the age thing, but and they do an awesome job playing games and stuff like that. So that's always it's always very cool. It's the second year I've done that, and it's very cool. It's very dad emotional. They do this thing. They do this thing where they say, give yourselves a pat on the back for being here and playing an active part in your kid's life.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, huh?
Right?
Congratulations, you did your job.
Yeah, you literally sent an email
Right.
telling me to be here and buy a ticket. Yeah, okay. But they do an awesome job. It was very cool. And they bought dresses and, I got dressed up and all that. So it was
old suit and tie.
Yeah, I wore a suit and tie because they've seen me do it for fights. And so they were very, very excited from the moment they got up and we're like, what time do we leave? Not for like 9 hours.
Aw.
So they were very excited.
Okay.
So that's the best part of the weekend. Worst part of the weekend is I got news on Saturday morning that a longtime listener of the show had a medical episode happen and was in ICU.
Mm.
And it's someone that he has an on-air name
Mm.
that you've all heard calling many times. And then, but I knew him on a personal level, like what he does personally, his personal life, his family situation, all that stuff. And so I got to know him that way. And hadn't talked to him in a while. We would text occasionally about stuff. And so he had a medical episode, was in the hospital, medical episode, then goes into ICU, and then he died Saturday night.
Oh.
And so normally I wouldn't share this, except this person, everybody's going to know who it is when I tell you the name. And it kind of, we had this conversation on Friday of that I'm not shocked when people die, but it's
What?
sad, right?
Right.
This one put me on my heels a little bit
Mhm.
because it's the third person in about 10 days near my age that has died.
Yeah.
And so, it's a reminder that we're all going to die. But I don't know, this one just felt a little bit different. And so it's weird to say it this way, but I'm going to say it because he's never told me to say his real name on the air. And I'm not gonna just because he's passed away.
Yeah.
But smoke weed everyday guy, to his family and friends, man, I'm sorry. They had to make a decision on what to do. And he had 3 kids. And so my heart hurts for you guys and for the community that he's a part of. I know that one stings. And so that sucks.
Yeah.
So today's a day I think everyone should be reminded to tell people you love them because there's no promise.
Damn it.
He had some medical problems, and then a medical episode happened while he was dealing with them, and that put him into ICU, and they had to make a decision, and that's not easy.
No.
I can't, you say things like, oh, give him a chance to fight, but when you're in it with that person, watching them and trying to figure out the right thing to do, it ain't easy. You can't judge people that are trying to make those decisions. But to his family and friends and his kids, man, I am sorry. So if you ever remember Smoke Weed Everyday guy, he would always call and end his phone calls with Smoke Weed Every Day.
Mm-hmm.
We were very creative with his name. Best and worst of the weekend. Best, college softball season started. First games of the new season. Worst, took a foul tip shot to the mask.
Damn.
Jammed my neck a bit.
Damn.
Can barely turn my head this morning.
Yikes.
Is that Beast League or is that like real college? Like I don't know if that's a college kid, a female texting
Beast
in.
League, like talking like beer league stuff.
Yeah.
Softball. Gotcha. Yeah, that I don't know, man.
Best part of the weekend, going to make it back to work after a 4-month recovery from a motorcycle accident.
Oof.
Worst part, going to bed early to make it happen. Yeah. Worst of the weekend, lost my damn job. Best of the weekend, I keep waking up. I guess that constitutes a good weekend. Beats the alternative. Yeah. I hear you, man. Losing a damn job, like you feel like you've been kicked in the balls, especially if it came as a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And then something will happen. You'll get a new job. You'll look back and be like, that job sucked.
This one's great for 6 months. Now this job sucks.
I was thinking driving in this morning, a week ago, driving in like, oh, are they going to cancel school? What's the
Yeah.
weather going to be like? Oh, it's cold. Be careful driving. Got to leave early. All these things. And this week I'm like, a derp. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
A week, man. Could change everything. Best took my kids shopping for some clothes and haircuts and dinner at Tejas Roadhouse with my whole family for mom's birthday.
Oh.
Worse, spent Saturday all day at work and almost got stuck there too. Hey, Lindsay, if you're thinking about used, look in Florida. Everybody there has a boat and is always looking to buy another one.
Mhm.
Best of the weekend, getting to go shoot guns with a couple of friends and my brother. Worst of the weekend, my puppy getting out of his cage at 6 a.m. and almost being ran over by the neighbor.
Ooh,
How do you open the door?
Yeah.
good question.
How do you open the cage?
Used his thumbs.
Best got to see my girl. Worst went back to work outside on a 70-degree day. So it's all good. I mean, yeah, if you go outside on a 70-degree day,
Right?
Those are the days you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Sure beats working in the freezing cold.
No kidding, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. The wind and stuff is, that sucks, but
Yeah. But it's not freezing.
no, it ain't freezing. You ain't walking like a nude baby deer.
Absolutely.
You're right.
All right, we got to play Cupid for Valentine's Day. Every day this week, each winner will get a 12-pack of Heineken Silver and a $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry and qualify for the big upgrade, a $1,000 gift card from Moody's Jewelry. BMMS and what that is to 82945.
You're listening to the
You discharged a weapon in city limits.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a charge in itself right there.
You're at a friend's house.
Mhm.
Okay, because I know you're
I love
not a
it.
huge football fan,
Yeah.
but you watch football.
Yeah, I'll go over there, hang out, drink some beers.
Your
smoke
girl
some pot.
loves football.
She loves it. Yes, I like it.
And matter of fact, Gimpy initiated a text to tease me
Yeah.
about the Chiefs game
Yeah.
on Sunday,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. I can take it.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
It's just unexpected coming from me.
Yeah, not normal.
Yeah.
But still awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, come over, watch the game.
Okay, bet, man.
We watch the game. we
Yeah,
got
man.
beers,
Yeah.
whatever. We're having fun. The game goes south. Patrick
Oh.
Mahomes chokes. Ooh, wish he did.
He did. He threw
He
that ball
choked.
right at that
He
fool,
choked. He
too.
pushed a pass. Anyway, I digress. And he throws the interception. I chuck my beer at the TV. I
Uh-huh.
start punching the TV.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know I'm packing. I pull out my gun and start
Yeah.
shooting the TV.
Uh-huh.
And I yell, son of a bitch.
Yeah. What's my next
Is it
plan of
safe to
action?
say you probably will not come back over to watch a football game at my house?
I'm definitely. Well, I might. Oh shoot!
Totally
No, I'm
care-
not
this is a
coming
pr-
back.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I'm not
extreme
coming
violent
back.
situation for
Yeah,
a guy
it
who's
is.
not
For
violent.
you. I was even gonna say, even if my best of friends did that, I'd be like, all right, I'll give you one more shot. If you pull out your gun a second time and start shooting a television over a goddamn football game, I am definitely never coming back. Not for football, not for Parcheesi, not for no goddamn
Yeah,
win, lose,
I
and
ain't
draw.
playing
none of
Monopoly
that.
with you, bitch.
No, because I could be the television. I'm not taking that chance. I would give you one more opportunity, because you're not the guy that kind of, just flies off the handle like that. That's a one-off. If it
Feels
happens,
pretty violent.
if it happens again, I'm like, all right, something's going on. Now, I'll tell you this. You pull out your gun, you start shooting a television, I'm not going to be sticking around for much longer.
Right, the party is over.
Pretty much. Even
we're
if the
definitely-
game
We're
at
not watching the
halftime-
second game.
No,
No.
no. I gotta go. I got to go vacuum my lawn. See you in the morning. No.
It's weird to see grown men
Yeah.
get that angry about something they have no part in,
Mm-mm.
Right.
of other grown men playing a kid's game, getting paid a king's ransom
Ain't that the
to
truth?
get that mad. And I'm not saying you're not invested and you can't be a fan,
Mhm.
right? I get it. It's been your team forever.
Right.
You've been there for the ups and downs. But getting mad, I'll accept throwing a beer.
Sure.
That I'm like, yeah, emotions get the best of you.
yeah, heat of the moment. Sure, why not?
You threw a beer, walked 10 feet,
Yeah.
punched a television multiple times. Then it fell. You then made a movement towards your waist, knowing what was there,
Right.
unholstered
Uh-huh.
or unwaistbanded, I guess,
All right.
Mhm.
and then fired not once, not twice, not 3 times, multiple shots. You had plenty of chances as adult to control your emotions.
Yeah.
There is no way this individual that I saw in that video does not beat his wife.
Oh,
Exactly.
Has to, man.
That is, your ass is out of here. Go stay in a hotel.
I think, okay, I love your thought. When do you do that?
When do you tell him to leave?
Oh, as soon as he punches the TV, what are you thinking?
So you're going to try and yell at him while he's shooting the television? At what point, when someone's acting that way, do you intercept, Lindsay?
Yeah, because clearly this isn't the first time. This isn't the first outburst.
They just got boxes of TVs lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
right. That kid fell off
Especially
the
as
truck.
especially as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, this clearly wasn't the first time. So before that's happened, you would do
We're
it.
we're talking about this
So-
instant. No, we're talking about this instance. Okay, he punches the TV, he shoots it. At what point do you engage with him and say, "We're done. You're out of here"?
Is she a friend or is she the old lady?
Old lady.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I suppose after he empties his rounds of the gun,
I think that's a bad call.
it would have to be after.
I think that's a bad call. That's like telling somebody who's amped up to calm down.
Right. It just ain't going to work. It ain't going to work because you know what's going to happen? Chances are he's going to go reload, either grab another magazine or grab the box of ammo and reload the one that he just emptied and then take it out on you.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Or use his fist or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good on that. If I was the old lady in the situation, I'd just grab me and my 5 kids and I'd go stay in a hotel somewhere. And then let him sit in there, be drunk AF as he is, let him look at his beat up, shot at television, and let reality sink in of what he's actually done. Let him go to bed. Let him wake up sober.
See the TV again.
See the TV again with the bullet holes in the television and probably in the walls. And then we'll figure it out from there. Be like, listen, bro, you shot the television. How do I know that me, Miguel, Vera, and the rest of them are all, he's Cowboys fan. I'm just assuming. But how do we know that we're not next? I'm not going to take this chance.
Do you call the police?
Oh, this is the next day?
Whenever. You're at my house. That happens. Do you call the police?
You'd leave before you call the police.
On your way out?
Yeah, on the way out the door, like in the driveway, driving away. You know, if it was one of those, all right, he just got done shooting the television. I think this is my moment where I can leave. Like he's in the bathroom taking a whiz, right? Because he's been
you wait for your moment
to wait for your moment, and then you go ahead and you skedaddle on out of there, and you call the police and let them come over to the house and deal with it. And then you got to go to the house the next day, and then you got to see the TV on the ground with bullet holes in it, and then remember.
Yeah.
And then you change the locks.
Yeah, I think you definitely wait the next day. Calling the police feels like that makes sense.
It does. It does.
You fire a weapon within my proximity, I feel like I've got to call the police because that's not normal behavior.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of letting him marinate in it.
You sit here and think about what you've done.
You don't even need to say that, right? Right?
Right.
That's like telling a fat person they're fat. They own mirrors. Like, you come in.
Shot the TV.
Yeah. Son of a. What happened to the team?
Right. Goes, stumbles up, still drunk a little bit. Oh, goddamn tequila. Ay, Dios míos. Goes for the television to turn on the news. Click, click. Nothing. TV's on the floor with bullet holes in it.
How stupid. And then do you upgrade after that, or do you just get whatever you get the Aspina brand that you've never heard of that's on sale for $200?
In case this happens again.
Yeah, right.
That's all you can afford. I mean,
right.
People don't keep a surplus TV budget. I don't think.
No, that's what pawn shops are made for, man.
I haven't bought a TV in like at least 4 years. And that's when I moved into the house. Oh, that's not true. I bought one for the playroom, I guess.
Yeah, but you bought one of the cheaper ones, right? You didn't go, Samsung or nothing like that.
Yeah. All I got to tell you is Roku. That's all I got to tell you.
I got
a Roku TV is cheap and it works fine.
Absolutely.
People are like, well, how many HP did the thing and lines and all that? I'm like, it comes on.
Right. Does it have a picture? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you get to the YouTube? Yes. That's it.
I'm confident with higher level brands, you get a different picture. Confident. I just don't care.
Right.
It's kind of like a diamond ring. There's different levels of a diamond ring.
Sure.
But you get over a certain threshold, the human eye, cannot tell the difference.
Right. Now you're just spending money.
Yeah, there's no reason to
status.
get, I don't know what it is, like an A diamond. You can't see the difference between an A, B, J, whatever. You need a monocle to do that.
Right.
So it's same with TVs. I'm like, who cares?
If it's going in the kids' room or like an outdoor TV, right there with you. If it's the main TV in the living room, though, no.
Oh, how about this? Someone's like, what if it's at your house? Like you invite me over to watch the game and I shoot the TV.
There is so much going on in that situation. One, you owe me a new TV, brah. Two, we're not friends anymore.
You can't shoot a gun in my house.
I'm calling the cops immediately. And if you try to run off before the police get there, I'm telling them everything. I'm rolling right on over. I'm telling them everything about you. because now you've destroyed my house. It's one thing to destroy your own property, but you come into my house and you start firing guns
And why do you got to carry a gun to a watch party?
Right.
because you never know.
Sure.
Home invasions happen, Corbin,
Sure.
in the middle of football games.
No, listen, even robbers know there's nothing to take at a Cowboys fan house. I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase.
Mhm.
You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition,
Mhm.
and I can't accept that I've lost,
Right.
or I can't accept that I've won, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. I said that
I've said that.
Yeah.
several times on this show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take
Yeah.
it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I'm Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's go ahead and play a game. Because we're playing Cupid. Every day this week, a winner's going to get a 12-pack of Heineken Silver and a $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry and then be qualified for the big upgrade. And all those people that are qualified, the big upgrade is a $1,000 gift card to Moody's Jewelry. But you got to win this game. And we're starting a new game. We call it 10-20-30, celebrating 50 years as Tulsa's rock station. So let's get started with that.
That's right. Do you know 50 years of KMOD rock, baby? Let's find out. 3 songs from 50 years as your rock station. Answer correctly, you win, baby. 918-460-KMOD. Groove it.
All right, so I'll play 3 songs. You got to guess which one is from the year I tell you. If you get it right, you're getting that 12-pack of Heineken Silver and a $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry. 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. Let's go to the phones and get our first contestant. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name? Already scared. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Nathan,
Nathan, how are you today?
doing good.
Good, buddy. I will play the 3 songs, and then I'll tell you what year I'm looking for. If you guess it correctly, you're going to be qualified for that $1,000 upgrade and get the Heineken and the $100 gift card just for playing, okay?
Sounds great.
All right, here is your first song. I mean, everybody should know that song, right, Gimpy?
Yeah, man. Dire Straits can't go wrong.
Yeah, quest song number 2. Okay, that's Van Halen,
Oh, yeah.
right, Gimpy?
Oh, yeah.
And then the last one here. Lindsay's very excited that I picked this song. You know that's
Skid
who,
Rock,
Lindsay.
Yes, Skid Rock.
Yeah, Bawa to Ba. All right, Nathan. So I'm looking for the song that came out in June of 1985. Which one is it?
Whew. I'm going to go with Dire Straits.
Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
All right, here it is. Let's make sure. Maybe one of the most unbelievable riffs of all time. Of course, Dire Straits' Money for Nothing. That came out in June of 1985. Congratulations, man. You're
All
getting
right.
a 12-pack of Heineken Silver and a $100 gift card to Moody's Jewelry. You're in the running for that $1,000 upgrade, dude. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome job, man. Hang on the line. After last week, it's kind of a shock to hear somebody get it right away.
Right.
That was pretty awesome. We started watching Handmaid's Tale, and I know I'm way behind on this, but I just got Hulu like in the last few months.
Okay.
Dude, that show's disturbing.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's disturbing. So for those who don't know, Handmaid's Tale is about the country is split.
Mhm.
And part of the country is ran by these extremists, religious extremists, that believe that women are property and that women don't get a vote. They don't get it. And I don't mean like go to the ballot. I mean in life.
Right. Do as you say.
Yeah. And that their only purpose is to breed.
Mm.
And in the very first episode, you see the main character. She's getting drilled by her owner.
Oh, okay.
And the wife also holds her. And as he's going to Pound Town,
Right.
she's like bumping into the wife like it's a ceremony. It's so uncomfortable, dude.
Sounds like it.
Yes. And you watch it and you're like, there's a lot of people that would like this to exist.
Yeah. You just lay there and do as I say.
And you can tell he's uncomfortable. It's so bizarre.
Well, then why are they doing it then?
Because that's the way.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's his calling.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. And listen, for me to get uncomfortable, it takes a lot. I am fine. There's only been a couple shows that I was like, I'm out.
Mhm.
One of them was the Babysitter movie where the Babysitter's Club or something like that.
Babysitters, I believe, is the name of it. Yeah.
And in the movie, these girls start basically a sex ring of having sex with the fathers. And at one point, they go to a retreat out at the cabin and they convince one girl to go along. And while she's having sex with one of the dads, she starts yelling for mommy. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
moment that I turned it off. I said, I ain't getting it. No.
Another one is a movie with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. And I think it's called Baby
Mother.
And they're sacrificing babies.
Yeah.
It's so disturbing. I was like, I am done watching this.
Yeah.
Never seen that one, but I listened to you describe it. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not even going to mess with it.
Killing for babies is a little much for me.
Absolutely.
And this one was pretty borderline.
Mhm.
It just was so uncomfortable.
Mm.
I'll give it the 3-episode try
Okay.
because people say it's awesome.
Okay.
Mhm. I think it's in its like
Fifth.
fifth season.
Yeah.
Yeah. See.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a monster show.
Mm-hmm.
She won, I forget her name. She was in Mad Men and stuff. She won an Emmy for her performance in it.
Yeah.
So
I think it deserves an award if you have to sit through that, take that abuse on that show, be
there've
part
been-
of that cast.
well, then by that standard, then all the people in the centipede also deserve.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the things you sign up for to be an actor, man.
Right.
For real. They're like, hey, we're going to pay you to do this. All right, what we do? Well, we're going to tape your mouth to this person's rear end, and you're going to have to sit like that for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Another thing I saw over the weekend was Pedro Pascal. He is the main character in The Last of Us.
Mhm.
He's also in a lot of other shows. He was in Game of Thrones. He is Mandalorian in the Mandalorian show. He hosted Saturday Night Live.
How fun.
Dude, he is so freaking likable.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He takes himself not seriously at all.
Well,
Cool.
good.
It's so awesome to watch. You're like, man, I want to have a beer with him.
Okay.
He's a good dude. And he does his best, but you can tell he's not an improv actor.
Mhm.
And so you see, he breaks character a lot. And one of the scenes they had him be a Mario, like a Mario Luigi, because he's got that weird mustache. Yeah.
Okay.
It did not disappoint from that standpoint, but Pedro Pascal, man, he does this great interview with Vanity Fair where they ask him about being a heartthrob,
Okay.
and he's like, what? Like,
Yes.
he's like, and if you see, I don't know, he doesn't have the look of like a Ryan Reynolds or a Gosling or
Right.
anything
Brad
like
Pitt.
yes or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so you're like, this makes no sense for him to be that guy, right?
Yeah.
And he just embraces it so well. You're like, yeah, and he just plays along with them
Yeah.
the whole time while they're asking him these questions about being a heartthrob, to the point when you hear it, you go, man, what a good dude. He does not let that bother him at all. I'm randomly running through this to find it. Here it is. This is him being asked about being a heartthrob. So let's see if it'll play correctly.
You have 2.4 million followers on Instagram. Are you disappointed it's not 2.5 million?
Yes.
Will you share this video on Instagram?
Will I share this video on Instagram? I'll think about it.
You're also very active with fans on Twitter. Do you search for your name?
Yes! yeah, I know.
Like he's hamming it up.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do you think this makes you self-absorbed?
I think it makes me weak.
What's the strangest thing someone has said about you on social media?
What's the strangest thing somebody has said about me on social media? One time I read that somebody said that I looked like Orlando Bloom if he was hit in the face with a shovel.
I can see that.
Do you agree?
Sometimes. He's a good-looking guy.
You had a Twitter interaction with a fan claiming you are not short. Do you stand by that statement?
I'm average height. I'm 5'11", naked, 6 foot, with some good shoes.
Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Have you ever listened to Pedro Pascal, the podcast all about Pedro Pascal?
No. But I will.
Have you seen the Pedro Pascal laughing crying meme?
Yes.
Do you think there should be more memes based on your emotions?
No.
That's not even the one I was looking for. I did it pretty improv, but he asked about being a heartthrob, and he admits to looking at heartthrob pages about him.
Okay.
That's funny.
I guess that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just being a good dude, not taking
Yeah.
it too seriously.
Yeah.
Of course, he knew he was doing that, and it was being recorded, but yeah. All right, we got to take a break. We'll have more Playing Cupid for Valentine's Day all this week. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Man
Situation, you get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So, does he have wounds? Like when we say he's tortured,
Irrelevant.
Let's not ask questions.
we'll give him.
How many days does he get off? He's been robbed. He's been abused.
Tortured, kidnapped, robbed, trust defiled.
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
I want to give him 2 weeks,
Okay. Because
especially if he's got wounds on him. I want to let him heal up. You know what I mean? Like if he's got some bruising on his face, things
bruising's
like that.
3 days.
Bruising isn't going to cause anybody else at work to get, some kind of infectious disease if he has one.
No, that's true. I'll stick with
2 weeks. Okay. Gimpy.
Good Lord, that's a lot of 2 days. 2 days. That happened on a Friday. You get Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. You bring your ass back to work on Wednesday. And if you've got gashes all over yourself, put some goddamn butterfly stitches on that thing and get your ass back to work.
Take as long as you need. You're damaged goods now. If I get you back, you're hardly going to be the person. Whether you get 2 weeks or you're back on Monday, it's going to take a week for you to quell the office chatter.
Right.
So you're damaged goods. You're not coming back the same person.
Oh, no.
You're not going to remember whatever project you were working on. Forget about it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do the right thing. Take as long as you want, but let's start hiring the replacement.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay.
You're done.
What if he comes back from work, right, after his week, 2 weeks, however long he needs, and things are a little shaky there for, let's just say, like a week? That seems natural. But everything's back to normal that week after. Are you still firing that guy?
I didn't say fire.
Well, what are you going to do? How else are you going to get rid? You going to lay him off?
You let life work itself out.
Let him quit?
Yeah, he'll quit on his own.
Maybe.
You still give him work. You still treat him as if he's an employee.
Absolutely.
Everything stays the same.
Absolutely.
But he is not the same employee, right? He experienced an incredibly traumatic event.
Yes. And maybe working where he works, doing what he does is his outlet to kind of get over things. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
this ain't your team lost. This isn't you broke your arm.
Yeah, you were
It is one of the most traumatic events human beings can go through is being kidnapped and tortured.
That is very true. That is very true.
Mr. No Days.
But everybody works through things differently.
Sure.
Some people need therapy. Some people just need to keep busy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe so what you're going to do is you're going to let this cat go so he can drive himself crazy.
I'm not going to let him go.
All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend, Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because I
don't know what that has to do with me. No, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying I have a responsibility as a company to make sure everybody's doing their job. And he can come back. We'll treat him as family. He'll stay on insurance. We'll give him projects. Everything will stay the same. But to have the expectation that he's going to be the same employee is not realistic. And that is what I'm saying.
I understand there's going to be some differences, but deep down inside, if that's what he needs to heal, then you keep on keeping on. I'm not hiring. I'm not looking for the new hire immediately.
He is going to be a drip at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Do not ask him to play laser tag or just tag or capture the flag.
Don't even say the word capture around him.
Don't do the ropes course with him.
Right.
Trust fall?
No. Trust any of you bitches.
No.
He's going to want to move to another state and start a whole new life.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Let it work itself out, but you have a responsibility to your customers. And as a manager of a business, we got to move forward. We can't let somebody hang on to the back of the train as it's pulling away from the station. Give him all the resources he needs. Let him continue to get a check.
Right.
Put him in a basement. Take his red set. Whatever that looks like for you.
Right.
All these stories are on our Facebook page. No days off.
I said 2.
No, you said the weekend, which he already gets.
No, I said I'll give you 2 days. That you've got Friday and Saturday, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday.
You get Saturday and Sunday off.
Exactly. So you've got 4 days.
So you gave no days off.
I gave him Monday and Tuesday off.
No, you said back on Monday.
No, I said back on Wednesday. I said you got you got Saturday and Sunday already off. All right, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday back to work on Wednesday.
Who wants to start in the middle of the week?
Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh. Listen, I've got a business to run, Corbin.
That's what I'm saying. I hear people all the time say that this isn't fair. Life isn't fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for what I want to do. I hear that all the time. And I'm going to tell you a story right now where you don't get to say that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
There is a country on this planet where the government makes them have a quota of collecting their own feces.
Why? Why is that?
For fertilizer.
Okay.
And as quotas go, they tend to grow every year.
You haven't crapped enough this year.
And
You need to put out some more.
And it's such a problem, the quota and the unreachability for maybe you're not having enough fiber in your diet, that you end up stealing crap from your neighbors so you can meet your quota to the government.
What has this
Thou shalt not
world
steal
come
my
to?
neighbor's crap.
What's that, Gimpy?
So what does this world come to, man?
So when you talk about how unfair it is, just keep in mind, you're not having to steal your neighbor's crap, literally. I don't know what I would do. I got to keep. So like I do all the grocery shopping, right? I do the majority of cooking.
Right.
Because my schedule allows for that to happen.
Yeah.
So that means if the crap quota was a thing here, that would be on my list of things I got to take care of.
Absolutely. All right. So I got to go to the grocery store at 12:30. I've got a doctor's appointment and then pick up the dry cleaning. Oh, and I've got to take 4 craps today. Oh, Bmms too, because, I was light yesterday.
Hey, little Sally flushed. She can't be flushing.
Mm-hmm.
We are so close to this month's quota.
Yeah. You have to keep track of whenever anyone in your family goes poo. You got to collect it for your kids and your wife.
You want to guess what the average household quota a year is of crap in this country?
Oof. I'm going. Go, Lindsay, go ahead.
Like pounds?
Yeah.
Billion pounds?
1 billion pounds in a household.
Good
in a
Lord.
household. I'll go.
That's
let's
a lot
go
of
with.
duty.
Let's go with 100 pounds.
Okay, Gimpy.
I was going to say 50 pounds. I think is a good quota for your family to poop.
220 pounds a year in a household. Now, these are people that are able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have somebody who's, they don't go, oh, sorry,
So-
they're on a colostomy bag.
It's a sliding scale, essentially.
Of course, it's an average.
Yeah.
Right. If you have only 2 people in a house compared to the house of 6, I think the scale is going to be a little different.
Does this article say, like, how they reach that number for the quota? Like, is it based on weight and diet and obviously household members, how many people you have in your house?
Sure. It's going to, by the number of people.
Okay.
Depends on how much your quota is.
Strictly on the number of people.
Yeah.
That judges how much you need to craft for this. Okay.
Yeah. What I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking like, well, they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people. You can make this much poop.
Yeah. You should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop? Your family's poop.
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
I think it's worse than that. The first day the first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah,
and
everybody's
people
movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you can't use that, right? Like it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see what's in Gimpy's 4x4.
Well, Corbin, it says here that Biden meets with advisors ahead of the State of the Union speech. Now, he flew to Camp David on Saturday, where he's expected to discuss efforts to raise the debt ceiling, Russia's war in Ukraine, and the 2024 presidential race, among other issues. Relations with China are also likely to be on the agenda after he ordered the military to shoot down that dang old suspected Chinese surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina.
Have you seen the video?
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. It's like, there you go. Poof. And
Yeah. To see that, you could, like, there it is. Okay. Yeah.
It's definitely took up all my Facebook all weekend long. That's all that I see.
Oh, yeah. Because then it happens, and then everybody's got to armchair quarterback it.
Why didn't you shoot it down while I was over Montana?
I don't know, because debris falls from the sky.
I don't know. Listen, it's just a balloon. Anyway, jury.
It's not like a Mylar balloon
Right.
that you get at a kid's birthday party. It was the size of like 4 buses or
Right.
something.
Massive balloon. Jury finds Elon Musk didn't defraud investors. Musk previously issued a series of tweets telling people that he'd secure funding to turn Tesla into a privately traded company. 3 weeks later, Musk scrapped the proposal, but fluctuating share prices during that ordeal cost investors millions, if not billions of dollars. On Friday, a California jury ruled Musk was not liable for investors losing their money.
I saw a thing over the weekend. I don't even know if this is true, but I saw a thing over the weekend to make Twitter profitable, extremely profitable.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, sure.
You can ban somebody from the platform for a fee. And based on their popularity
Okay.
Yeah.
is the amount. So let's just say Gimpy, who tweets never,
Uh-huh.
banning him would be like $1 for a day,
Right.
$5 for a week,
Okay.
$100 for the year,
I love it.
Okay.
right?
I love it.
The morning show would be maybe a little bit more.
Mhm.
And then you get someone like an Elon Musk
Right.
would be a ridiculous number. You can even ban him for life, but you got to contact the sales team
Right.
to work out the
That's really not a bad idea. to be
No, it's
honest with you.
brilliant.
That is pretty smart.
It's brilliant.
Well, maybe it'll happen.
And you're like, no, free speech. Bitch, not free speech.
Well, you're paying for it. You're paying for a service. It's a subscription
Yes.
fee.
If it's all for the people, man, put it out there.
Right.
Let the people decide. Then all these rich people are going to be like, I don't like Gimpy.
Right.
Ban him
Yeah.
or whatever, whoever that person is. Capitalism, man.
Right.
Awesome.
Right. Well, America. Booty Judge says that the U.S. had to balance risks in shooting down the balloon we were just talking about. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says that the decision to shoot down the Chinese surveillance balloon required balancing of several risks. He explained that despite JB's order on Wednesday to take out the balloon, it was delayed due to the chance of debris falling on American airspace. Buttigieg says that the debris field from the downed balloon was 7 miles long, and Saturday's mission was all about minimizing the risk to life and property on the ground. Buttigieg became first aware of the balloon, or if it was successful in gathering any intelligence as it drifted over the country. And lastly, here, judge protects the gun rights of marijuana users. A judge in Oklahoma City made the ruling on Friday, pointing to last year's Supreme Court ruling that expanded gun rights. U.S. District Judge Patrick Wyrick dismissed a case against a man accused of violating the law, noting that the mere status of being a marijuana user doesn't justify stripping him of his constitutional rights. Smoke pot, carry your gun.
Yeah.
Sure. I like it.
The Panthers and new head coach Frank Reich have made a major addition to the coaching staff. Carolina has hired Ajiro Evero to be the team's new defensive coordinator. Evero had interviewed for the Carolina head coaching job last month, as well as several other job openings around the league. The Broncos let Evero out of his contract on Saturday. The 42-year-old led the 7th-ranked defense in Denver last season and had also had previous coaching stints with the Rams, Packers, 49ers, and the Buccaneers. And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite. You sure you don't want to be an engineer?
Poop.
Sure we can't guide you into some other field?
Whoop-dee-dee scoop poop.
You could be a gynecologist if you want.
Poop.
Proctologist, it's close. If that's just what you want to do with your life, I mean, okay, good. I support you 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Somebody's like, I'm going to be the best poop expert ever.
Yes, absolutely.
How was work today, honey? Poop.
It was the S.
Do not. Because I don't know about you guys, but my wife has friends that she works with, and we go to dinners with them or whatever, and they talk about work. And I always set a little thing on my watch, and about 20 minutes in, I'm like, okay.
Like trying to get out of the conversation
No,
or change the conversation?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay,
We're not talking about work anymore.
Yeah. I get that.
Do not bring it up at all if your husband or wife does poop research.
No.
Not a fun dinner.
No, because that's where everybody
Topic.
gathers around the table and talks about their day and how it was. And yeah, you can't do that if you're a poop expert.
Lindsay, do you have friends that do like plumbing or drywall work?
Yeah.
And when you need plumbing or drywall work, you call them, right?
Of course. Of course.
Do not call him about our poop, please.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
You're an expert in the poops, huh?
Honey, my tum-tum isn't right. Call Jim.
Right.
I'm not calling Jim again.
Again.
He does not want to hear about my poop problems.
Sure, he does. He deals with it every day.
That's the conversation you have with people that do drywall,
Right,
electrical work,
They're professionals.
car repair.
Mhm.
He does it every day. He does not mind. Y'all had a show some time ago about well-endowed men who have trouble with the dating scene because of their genetic disposition. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch the whole show. Well, I'm not sure how to ask this, but are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with a big dong man or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong? I don't,
It's conversations like this that create an illusion that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that sounds exciting.
Right. Some, that's not even big enough.
Yeah. I have never thought if there is a website for women to go to find men that are well endowed. Now that we've said it aloud, I'm sure there's one.
Well, there has to be. They've got one for farmers and Christian singles.
Sure.
Why can't they have one?
Spoiler, those are all the same databases.
What?
Yeah.
Big dong dating.
and I'm sure there's one for this, but do like guys who like bolt-ons,
right?
Breasts, is there a website for fake boobs, like only dating girls with fake breasts?
I feel like there probably is, but also I feel like that might be something in a profile, like on a dating app, like a question, like, do you prefer real or fake boobs? Or, you know what I mean?
I would know. I've never filled any one of those
either.
out, but that doesn't, you fill that out on a dating app. I don't take a lot of credibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a site as looking for a partner and the website is fakeboobsforyou.com, then you better have big old bolt-ons, right? Same way for girls looking for guys with well-endowed junk.
Yeah.
If that's on, like, every guy's going to put that in his profile.
Right.
But if you're on a website of Tubuku, you better be.
Right.
I don't go to the chicken restaurant and order a hamburger.
Yeah. Do you have to upload measurements to be on these websites?
If they exist, I don't even know.
Right.
So far, I just simply Googled website for men who want to only date women with fake breasts. That seems pretty simple and plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay. I Googled double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put two big D's on there?
No, I wrote double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get that specific.
Yeah. On our trademark. On our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be.
People are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you would have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that
Whatever
is.
it is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
Yeah, I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah, sure. Footfetishdating.com. Click. Footfetishmatch.com. So they do have websites that will get down into it in certain aspects in certain areas. Giant schlongs or mega boob isn't one of them. But feet. Why?
Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm
There,
not looking.
too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker. Ask a matchmaker to help you out. I feel like that would be something that would be on a matchmaking site.
Right, but don't you think there's room for fibbing on that?
Yeah, definitely.
You get to embellish a lot on those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Picture of you and a dog, and they're like, "Oh, where's your dog? I don't have a dog."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a picture of you on your dating profile. Yeah.
About that. That was my friend's dog, and I thought it would just,
It's a great picture of me.
bring you in.
They do say that people with dogs in their profile pictures
Totally.
get lots of hits.
You want to, if you're a single guy, there are 2 ways to pick up women, in my opinion.
Mm.
A dog in a park.
Mm-hmm.
Go to a dog park. You will find probably a woman with a dog.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I hope so.
Offer
Yeah.
to pick up your friend's kids at school where you have to walk in.
Oh, yeah. Single mom, single dad.
Just saying. Right? That would be the way to do it. All right. But Lindsay, well endowed.
Yeah, I would say get on a match. Hire a matchmaker. Hire a matchmaker. I don't think you're ever going to just find someone well endowed unless you are looking on someone's OnlyFans page, maybe. I would say a guy that has some junk.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. What do you have, Lindsay?
Valentine's Day is a pretty popular date for wedding proposals. And apparently, if you propose at a Cracker Barrel, you could win free meals for an entire year. Who in their right mind is going to propose at Cracker Barrel?
Dude, their breakfast, though, is
It's money.
Got all the wedding gifts you
Sometimes.
need right there in their lobby.
Yeah.
Right.
They have the best stuff in the lobby.
That's when we would road trip, we would always stop at a Cracker Barrel. That's where we would eat. It didn't matter if we had already been there for breakfast. We're stopping there for lunch.
Yeah.
Because there's always something you're going to like.
My first wife thought Crate and Barrel was Cracker Barrel.
Oh,
yeah.
that's fun.
That's totally different.
So when we went, she was like, I thought we were going to a restaurant. Nope.
That's
That's
fun. I always
different.
wanted one of the rocking chairs. And I know you can
Why?
buy them.
Why?
I don't know.
$400 for a rocking chair.
They're
seems
not
a little
$400.
too much.
They're very
$400.
expensive.
I think they're like $160.
That's a lot for
It
a
is.
rocking
You're right.
chair.
And that's probably why I don't have one.
Gimpy, what do you have?
We're going to be talking to Jeff Hensley in a little bit. So if you're going through a divorce or maybe a custody case or something, you might want to text your question in BMMS and what it is to 82945. And old Hefe can answer it when he comes in.
Thank you, Gimpy. Let's see. It's time for Our Listeners Are Awesome. We like to talk to our listeners. They share about their life. On the phone with us right now is Ryan. Hello, Ryan. How are you? Hold on a second there, I guess. There you are. Hey, Ryan, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. We had a little problem there. Mostly me. All right. All right, Ryan, you're 37 years old. What do you do for a living?
I drive a truck over the road right now.
Like cross country or just interstate?
Cross country.
And what do you haul? Like what is your typical, are you a contract? Just depends on what the contract is, or do you do the same thing?
The first haul every week out of Tulsa is going to be a bunch of glass bottles heading out to different areas of the state or the country.
What's your favorite place to drive to?
Favorite place is going to be New York. Just a nice, peaceful drive. You got 2 days of driving.
Until you get to New York, and then it's not so peaceful anymore, right?
It's actually not too bad where we go to. It's we stay on 90, and it just kind of goes around by Niagara Falls and goes on up and drops off. So as long as you don't hit Buffalo around 5 o'clock, you're golden.
Yeah, there's a misconception. You think New York City is New York, and that's just a small part of that state. A lot of it is very country.
Yes, and it's beautiful up there, especially right this time of year. It's got all the snow on the ground. It's a beautiful country up there.
And how did you become an over the road trucker like that? What was the appeal for that type of career?
Actually, I never thought I was going to go over the road. Never planned on it. I started driving a truck back in 2014, working for a company doing train derailments. They taught me how to drive a truck and started hauling equipment to the job sites to clean up train derailments. And that was all locally within 300 miles or so. We would drive our trucks and haul our equipment. If it was any farther than that, we'd take the company jet and pick up somebody else's equipment while we were wherever we were at. So, but I needed a job, and my brother was like, "Hey, we got some openings here driving truck. You're home 3 days a week. You're gone 4 to 5 days a week. Typically, if I leave out Sunday, I get back Thursday morning, Thursday evening, and I'm home till Sunday morning, and I leave out again. So it's not like some of the other guys where they're out 3 or 4 weeks at a time. This one's kind of a little bit more home time, which is good because I've got 2 daughters that I try to see as much as possible.
Wow. So I have a lot of questions off just that little bit you gave us, man, because train derailments, are there enough train derailments to have multiple dispatch units throughout the country, or was it just here?
Yes, we, the last I heard, we had at least 46 divisions throughout the United States. We have a couple in Canada, one down in Mexico. The Canada ones are typically seasonal. They'll pick up during wintertime and shut down during the summer. But yes, there are quite a few. I thought the same thing in 2013 when I inquired about the job. I was like, man, this is going to be an easy job. How many train derailments do you really hear about? And come to find out, there's a ton of them. But unless it's somebody dies or it's a big explosion or it happens in the middle of a town, you don't typically hear about it.
What's the amount of time from you get a call saying there was a train derailment to you are on scene putting Humpty back together again? Like how fast is that?
It depends on where it's at, where we have to go. From the time I get the call, or at that point when I was working for that company, when I got the call, I had 45 minutes. It was technically supposed to be an hour, but from the time our managers got the call to the time they called us out, we had 45 minutes to get to our shop and be ready to roll out the gate to go anywhere from 21st Street and 75 Highway in Tulsa to I think the farthest I've gone was British Columbia, Revelstoke, British Columbia, Canada, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. So you could be gone 12 hours. You could be gone 3 weeks. Yeah, you never really knew when you got the call until you got on site. But our trucks are really slow. So we averaged probably about 45 miles an hour hauling our equipment. So, something that would take you guys like going to Enid, Oklahoma to do a derailment. It would take normal people about 2 hours to get there. We're looking at about 5 hours to get there. And that's from the time we start driving to the time we park the trucks, usually about, 5 hours to get to Enid because of the way we have to go because of their oversized loads. They're overweight and over width.
How long does it take to drive from here to Canada?
Okay, so I never had to drive to Canada with our equipment. We took the company jet, and then we would have like Twin Cities. They would cross the border and bring their equipment up there if Winnipeg wasn't up and functional at the time, or we'd have somebody from SeaTac up in Oregon bring their equipment up there depending on where we were at. And so by the time we flew up there, they should be getting there about the same time we were. So we never really had to drive to Canada. But I can tell you that it takes me from leaving Tulsa to the time I get to Baldwinville, New York. It takes me about 22 hours to drive to New York from here.
Dang.
Doing train derailments, can you think of a time when you arrived on scene and you were just horrified with how bad it was? Because maybe people do, but the amount of weight that trains carry and when they're off tracks, they can cause quite a bit of damage.
Yes. I mean, we've gone to derailments that had, the engine had popped a wheel off. We put that back on, or we've got there and there's been 50 cars spread out across, typically, like I said, it was rural area. There's a lot of track running through rural areas. So it would spread out across that and you would just have cars after cars just piled up there. And, it wasn't so much being horrified of that. It was the going, oh God, we're going to be here for, 40 hours working this thing. And that it was going to be a long next few days. So that was that was the deal there was, you'd start working and typically we didn't stop working till the job was done. Especially if it was within about, like I said, 400-mile radius around Tulsa. Outside of that, we would go up as a relief crew a lot of times to relieve the division that was up there. And we would just kind of take over and get the job knocked out. We were supposed to be there 12, 24 hours at a time when we go do relief crew stuff. But a lot of times we would stay until the job was done. Tulsa was known to be a crew. We showed up, we took the job over and we got the stuff done. We had people from, the upper train guys in Canada, or not Canada, but California to Georgia to anywhere. Hey, we want Tulsa. We want Tulsa to come up here because they're efficient. They get the stuff done. They know what they're doing. Their guys are seasoned. And so we were requested quite a bit. Now, being requested and being able to go was a little bit different because you're talking about the money, getting a jet coming from Texas where it's parked at to Tulsa to pick us up, to fly us wherever. It's not cheap. So unless it was a decent sized derailment, they didn't fly us up there very often, but the guys still wanted us there because we got the stuff done. We knew what we were doing and we came in, we didn't have to ask a lot of questions. We did what we did and we were real efficient at it and real good at it.
Talking with Ryan, our listeners are awesome. So tell me, it sounds like, you get a gig and you might have to be gone for 45 hours straight working or maybe even longer than that. What's the appeal of a job like that?
The appeal of a job like that was I'm just a blue collar guy. I had no college. I went to high school in Owasso, graduated, went straight to work, and went straight to being married. having kids. That job paid really well for a guy with no college degree. You could typically make, on a good year and overtime, obviously, you could make $80,000 a year. And for a guy that has no college degree, that's pretty good money.
Mm-hmm.
So that there kind of was the appeal. The downside was you'd be walking out. There's many times be walking out the door, got all dressed up, going to my daughter's cheerleading banquet. Open the door, get in the car, phone rings. Oh, sorry guys, see y'all later. Had to get back out, go change. They took off, and I went to go wherever I was going at that point in time. So you miss out on a lot of life's things going on there, especially if you have younger kids, and that kind of took a toll on stuff. Matter of fact, I think I had a big part in me getting divorced or going through a divorce, which thanks to you guys, I found Jeff Hensley. So he is representing me, but like I said, that I think that put a big strain on a marriage. And if you ain't got a good tight knit marriage, you have any wiggle room for something to go wrong. Being gone like that and being on call like that is tough. Is very tough on somebody's family and stuff like that. So, like I said, you don't know how long you're going to be gone for, and like I said, you've got an hour, 45 minutes from the time they call to get there, and that's every day. You know, 365 days a year, unless you're on vacation. So you get a week's worth of vacation a year, maybe 2 weeks, and you're off that week. You're not on call, but then you from that you go to. You can't do anything. You can't go out and spend time with your friends and have a couple of beers, and I'll can't have a couple of beers or anything like that, because you never know. If you get the phone call, you've got to go, and you can't get in a semi truck after you've been drinking and doing that stuff. So your life just kind of is all about the job. Kind of like a military lifestyle. It's all about the job. Nothing that comes first and foremost. Everything else takes a back seat to it.
You have to be work ready, right?
All times. You keep a bag in your truck. You keep your suitcase typically in your pickup truck, or you leave it at the shop. And then also at the shop, you've got another big duffel bag full of winter clothes, because it might be 80 degrees here, but you head up north and it's 20 degrees. So you always kept two bags, one full of winter clothes, one full of clothes to change into. And but at all times you had to be ready. You go out to eat with the family, you take two separate cars. You go to a football game or watch my daughter cheerlead, you take two separate cars, because I get a phone call, I've got to go, and it's not right to make the whole family have to leave, or take me someplace and drop me off. So it does sound terrible. It was a good job. Well, it's a good job. I mean, to that extent, as far as making money, being able to support your family and do stuff like that. But as far as family oriented, it was not very well.
And I would imagine too, when you weren't on call, the hours weren't nearly as crazy. Like, when shop and check in, make sure all the equipment was.
Yes, we would, when we weren't on a job, work at the shop, 8 to 5 p.m. And we would continue keeping up maintenance on our semi trucks, our trailers, and our tractors. And that was just a constant, repetitive. You always checking fluids, you're checking all the stuff on it, making sure it's ready to go, because when we get the phone call, we can't be going, hey, sorry, our truck's down. It's going to take us to 3 hours. That just doesn't fly. When the railroads need you, the railroad needs you. And if you can't make it, then they're going to call another company, and you have you lose out on a lot of money for your company. And that starts happening. Then they start doing layoffs. So you always made sure that your stuff was top shape, ready to go. And so when the phone rang, it was everything was good to go when you took off.
Right.
So,
it says here you were in the Army Reserve. When did you join the Army?
I joined the Army in 2011. I planned on doing it sooner. I wanted to do it right out of high school. I had a buddy that I was going to do it with, and he wasn't quite old enough at the time. His parents wouldn't sign the waiver, so we opted not to do that. And I decided I met a girl. We started dating. Got engaged 2 years later, and then my buddy that I was going to go into the service with decided, hey, I'm going to go in the Marine Corps now. And I'm like, gee, thanks, buddy. I'm getting married and I got a baby on the way. I can't really do that right now. So it was something I'd always wanted to do. So after my daughter was a little bit older, my daughter was born in 2007. So in 2011, I went to the Army and went ahead and went with the Army Reserves. Because by that time, my daughter, she was very close with the family. My mom and dad were her everything. So I did not feel right taking her away from them, wherever I was going to have to be stationed at if I went active duty at the time. So I didn't go active duty. I went into the reserves, and I did that for, my contract was for 6 years. I ended up doing it for 5 years. Had to talk to the administration and my upper command about getting out early, a year early, because of the job I was doing with the whole doing the train derailments, because it was hard to make drill or make some of the stuff when, you're sent someplace. It's not like you can just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a plane ticket and fly back for the weekend so I can go to drill, and then I'll meet you guys back out in Oregon when I get done. It didn't work that way. It was hard to get back in town to get with my unit and leave out. So I went in, talked to them, explained to them what was going on. I had a year left. They went ahead and gave me an honorable discharge and let me out a year early.
Wow. That's very kind of them.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. I thought it was going to be a lot tougher, but they were pretty accommodating when it come to stuff like that. And like I said, I'd done 5 years of my 6-year contract, so it kind of they were real nice about that, so to say.
Did they think maybe that the train derailments was more important than the work you were doing with the Army Reserve at the time?
I don't think they did, but at that point in time, and the foreseeable future, there was no deployments coming up for our unit. So there was no sense of me doing any more training for the next year. I was going to get out anyways. We weren't going to deploy anytime soon. So it kind of just, I guess, made sense. There's no sense to pay me to keep coming there and training and doing stuff, or not going there and training and taking a chance of getting chaptered out of the Army because of failure to show up and, take care of my duties. So it kind of all just fell in together, I believe.
I was looking at your Facebook page. It says you did security at a local casino. What was the craziest thing you came across at the casino? Because I would imagine doing security at a casino, you see some really ridiculous things.
I've seen a lot of things at that casino. It's a pretty big casino. Matter of fact, they were putting a restaurant on the top floor, and somehow some people had gotten up there. And I'm trying to remember now. That's been years back, and I can't remember. I think there was 2 different times. But some people had gotten up there and decided they were going to have a romantic time up there before the place ever opened.
Like they were having sex?
Yeah, they were.
How'd you get the call on that? Like, was there a motion alert, or how'd you know to go up there and check?
It was just one of the things that it was part of our patrol. We'd go up through there and do a walkthrough. Same way with the rest of the casino. You did your walkthroughs on it and stuff like that in certain areas, certain times, and that's how we come across it. You could also sit there and you'd have operations call you and be like, hey, need you to go out to this car in the parking lot. They're sitting there in the car doing drugs. We're watching them on camera. So, you'd get out there and they'd have little lines laid out and like, yeah, guys, you need to wrap this stuff up and get it out of here. We're going to call the marshals out here. So, I mean, it was just, there was an abundance of things. My main position there was Friction. When Club Friction was open, I was a bar officer, and that was my post there. So I've seen a lot of stuff go on inside that club as well. And not only were they doing it up on the 19th floor, but you also had the, you could catch them doing it in the booths there, and the VIP booths there as well. Hey guys, you guys got to knock that stuff off. You're going to get kicked out. They'll try to make it inconspicuous, but you see a lady, sitting there and,
right
on top of her man and, doing motions. You kind of have an idea of what's going on. And the cameras catch everything. So if you don't see it personally, you get notified of it real quick. So
I'm not sure if that's a good day or a bad day when you catch somebody having sex. Dude, you have had you have some crazy stories, man, and be careful doing the trucker thing, and congratulations on your 2 daughters. Take care of them, and it's been great talking to you, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Man, I just wanted to say something. I had some Kobe breakfast cheese this morning. It was amazing. So you guys gotta try that out.
Will do, sir. Will do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Y'all have a good day.
See you later, man. Yeah, man. Kobe's a delicious breakfast
In
cheese.
stick form?
Yeah, right. Square, man. You got to do the square. All right, we got to take a break and we'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's Morning Show, 97.5.
Want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah, horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man, you're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think.
What he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay.
Come
Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted in what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win her over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
And then you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. Then the 9th time was finally the.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times yourself.
I blame myself for being blinded by
But it
stupidity.
wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No. No, it was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity, trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. And have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something
she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I
not
mean, let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at that
men.
point, are you, Scott? You're
Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that, like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
No, I don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans, Corbin.
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Yes, the Grammys happened last night, and not that I care or you should care. To me, there's maybe your favorite artist won, maybe they didn't. It doesn't really matter. The point I wanted to bring up is one, everybody got a gift bag worth over $60,000.
Wow.
All the winners did, which is crazy to me.
That's cool.
I can afford all that.
Exactly.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, it was over 4 hours long, which makes it the longest Grammys that they've ever had, which I tuned in at one point and they were doing best electronic album.
Really?
I mean, I'm not saying that's not worthy of an award. I just don't know if it's worthy of being televised.
Yeah.
Even in like fights, right? Like I love MMA fights. They don't air all the fights because they're not all worthy of air.
Right. And I think that's a category they could have just mailed that one right on in.
The people that care about those fighters fighting, find a way to watch it.
Uh-huh.
If you care about electronic album of the year, then you would maybe find a way to watch it. But what do I know? And we could go down artists and go, I don't know who this is or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did learn something with the Grammys, and that is there is record of the year, album of the year, and song of the year.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the difference?
Record of the year, album of the year, song of the year.
Yes.
Well, song is just one. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But what the difference between the record and the album, I couldn't tell you, because to me it's the same thing.
Yeah. Sales.
Now we're in the
Plays.
business. Like we talk about the Grammys every year, right? So we should know. And I just found out.
Downloads.
Nope. So album of the year is for the entire album.
Okay.
Everyone involved.
Oh.
Okay.
Engineer, producer, all that stuff, right?
Writers. Okay.
Everyone. The whole, the belief of the whole album.
Okay.
Right? Record song of the year is obviously just the song. It's the song and the songwriter, the singer and the songwriter. Those are the only people acknowledged.
Okay.
Record of the year is one song, but it's everyone involved in the song. So producer, engineer, all that stuff.
Okay.
So you can hear someone win record of the year, and then someone like this year, Lizzo won record of the year, and Harry Styles won album of the year.
Okay.
But record of the year is just for one of Lizzo's songs on that album. Harry Styles won for the whole album.
Okay.
All the tracks.
It seems like a lot of unnecessariness.
And song of the year was neither one of those. Right?
Uh-huh.
Song of the year is just for that one song and the people who wrote it and the person that sang it.
Okay.
Wow.
Seems confusing.
It does. It absolutely.
I mean, it's never been really explained, right? You they list everybody and you go, that's nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Lizzo.
And some of the outfits, man, whew.
They do a lot of wardrobe changes like they do on every other
Okay, I don't want to get too much into the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wear an outfit on the red carpet, that should be the outfit you wear in your seat.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And there are people that doesn't happen. You have your red carpet outfit to blow everybody away. How can you wear that? And then you're like, well, that I almost just swore. Did you hear that? That was so close.
That was really
That S isn't comfortable.
right. So you got to change into
And
something
then
different.
Yeah. I get you might change to perform, and then put
Exactly.
your out. Like, okay.
Start doing that here.
Again, it doesn't matter. The other takeaway is Madonna looked like a microwaved sausage.
Oh my God.
Really?
And I know she's coming here, and I know she's older, and she's talented, and I'm not dogging her. She does not look. She's not doing any plastic surgery, or maybe she is. I don't know.
No, she is. She
She's
is.
where in Brazil?
Somewhere. Kevin showed me a picture of her the other day on social media, and he was like, oh my God, look at this picture of Madonna. And like the comment was,
Oh God.
it was, she hasn't aged. Look at Madonna. She hasn't aged. And he was like, holy ass. He was like, what do you mean she hasn't aged? She looks horrible.
Yeah, that's like some
Yeah.
bad
Dude, she
plastic surgery.
looks like
Yes.
Jigsaw
Yeah.
Yes.
from Saw.
Yes.
She was wearing the same type of tux and everything. It's
Maybe she did it on purpose. Would you like to play a game? Ugh.
Like, just age gracefully, lady.
age great. Like that's a vote. You get a
Right.
chance. You don't get an option to age
Not
gracefully.
anymore.
Not ever,
She's had
Lindsay.
way too much work done.
Not anybody. Nobody gets to choose to
I know,
age gracefully.
You
but
either
it-
do or you don't. Yeah.
Yes.
exactly. You either do or you don't. Mhm.
Yeah, it's not her choice.
Yeah.
She's probably trying to age gracefully.
Ooh.
Right.
No, she's trying to look younger and younger and younger.
That
She
looks
is not letting
bad.
go.
Isn't everybody?
Yeah, I guess.
If you get Botox, aren't you doing that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Do you do Botox?
I didn't get it.
Have you done Botox?
I have in the past, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that aging gracefully? I'm just, I don't
I'd
know.
like to think so.
Embrace
but
your
no, it's not.
canyons.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Is there a point of no return on stuff like that? So, like, if you do it once, are you in that camp?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So far as like
No,
plastic
because-
surgery?
Yeah.
I think once you start chiseling away, okay, then yeah, you're in that camp. A little bit of Botox, probably not. But once you start reshaping your face, then yeah, you're in it. You're in it.
I think if you're getting like the facelifts and
A
the
nose job
jobs and the
Mhm.
yeah.
Hell, even lip injections, I'd be like, yeah, you're in that camp.
I lump them all together.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with it. It's there for a reason.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
But
Can
if
afford it.
that's like going, I only did heroin once.
I'm not an addict.
Right.
Either you if you do plastic surgery, you do plastic surgery.
Uh-huh.
You don't be like, no, I just did like lips and then some Botox and then, I got my whatever chin fixed.
All right.
No, I just got a breast augmentation. Okay, it's plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there to change your look,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
regardless of how intense or not intense is. But I would imagine it is totally like heroin. You do it and you're like, I need more. I didn't know it was so easy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody that's had plastic surgery and been like, this was awesome. Like right after the surgery, the recovery part.
Oh, the recovery sucks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's so painful.
Yep.
For what? Vanity.
I've been around a couple females that get breast augmentation and the pain they are in afterwards.
See?
They all say the same thing.
Mhm.
I wish I wouldn't have done it.
But you did.
And then when they're better, they're like, that was awesome.
Uh-huh.
Hey, don't quit on a bad day. I get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The middle sucks no matter what you're dealing
Amen.
with.
Yeah. All right. We got to take a break. Jeff Hensley will join us at 9. Get your question to us. The email address is show@kmod.com, or you can text it, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945.
Tulsa's morning.
Necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight. We're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's like
Cleanliness.
cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. That it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 no. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first,
You're so
right?
bougie. Like,
Yeah.
You're going over get high and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you got to, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because, it's littered with empty cans. then,
Right.
yeah, that's what
Right.
I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag,
But if-
clear off the tables, and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh, God. Oh, God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy. Right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
you're
obviously
covering up a
something
smell.
Yeah.
Right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass.
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mm-hmm.
And mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing is racing.
Ugh.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look it
I
up.
mean,
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking
It
schnoz.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. And if I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful chirping or anything. It's a very loud noise.
mm-hmm.
The shoebill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 91860 KMOD. Jeff Hensley from Hensley & Associates just walked in. He's sitting in the green room waiting to take your calls. We'll have him on at 9. Going through divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things, Jeff can answer them when he's in the studio. A couple ways to get us your question. You can call at 9 at 918-460-KMOD. You can text your question, BMMS and whatever that is, to 82945. Or you can email it to us, show@kmod.com. We'll do that in a few minutes. But first, we've got to see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Kyrie Irving is on the move once again. The NBA star is being traded from the Brooklyn Nets to the Dallas Mavericks. According to ESPN, the Mavs are sending Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and unprotected 2029 first-round pick and second-round picks in 2027 and 2029 to the Nets in exchange for Irving and Markieff Morris. Irving's tenure in Brooklyn ends after 4 seasons that included injuries, dozens of missed games due to refusal to get vaccinated against COVID-19, and a suspension this season for promoting a movie that contained anti-Semitic themes. The 30-year-old is averaging 27.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game this season.
That's a little misleading. He didn't promote, he retweeted.
Yeah.
It's a little misleading.
There have been multiple suspensions after Friday night's brawl during the contest between the Orlando Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves towards the end of the third quarter, with the Magic up 83-73 is when Mo Bamba and Austin Rivers got into it with punches thrown. After the dust settled, the NBA stepped in with their thoughts on the action. Mo Bamba was suspended for 4 games. He forfeits $284,000. Austin Rivers was suspended for 3 games, forfeiting $47,000. Jalen Suggs was suspended 1 game for escalating the issue. Jaden McDaniels was fined $20,000 for getting involved. The NBA said social media posts between Bamba and Rivers continued the escalation. The Warriors are losing their star point guard for multiple weeks. ESPN reports Steph Curry is expected to be out through the All-Star break after suffering a left leg injury. Curry was injured in Saturday's win over the Dallas Mavericks and was diagnosed with a partial tear to the superior tibiofibular ligaments and the interosaurus membrane. Golden State announced a potential timeline would be determined in the coming days. Curry had already missed 11 games in December and January after suffering a left shoulder injury. Kevin Steele is going to return to the Alabama Crimson Tide. ESPN reports Steele has agreed to a deal to become Alabama's new defensive coordinator. Steele most recently worked as Miami's DC last season and has already worked 2 stints with Nick Saban's staff at Alabama. The 64-year-old replaces Pete Golding, who left the program to become Ole Miss's defensive coordinator last month. And the biggest star in UFC history, Conor McGregor, has officially booked his long-awaited return to the octagon after a year and a half away from the sport. The last time MMA fans saw Conor McGregor inside the cage, the former 2-division champion needed to be assisted out of the octagon after breaking 2 bones in his leg during a technical knockout loss to Dustin Poirier in July of 2021. The loss was his 2nd straight to Diamond and 3rd in his last 4 bouts. On Saturday morning, ESPN was the first to formally announce Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor have been named coaches of The Ultimate Fighter. They're going to face off in the octagon at the end of the season. So season 31 of The Ultimate Fighter, featuring Team McGregor versus Team Chandler, will air on ESPN, ESPN Plus, starting on May 30th and run through August 15th.
I'm not buying this is happening. One, he's got to re-enter USADA. USADA's the drug testing pool. He's got to be in it 6 months before they can fight. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. He hasn't fought in 2 years,
Mhm.
which doesn't mean anything, right? And he does not fare well against wrestlers.
And
He's more of a striker. Chandler's a ridiculously good wrestler.
Okay.
So I will be shocked if this fight happens. Just the other night, they asked Dana White after the fight. They said date, location. He was like, no, nothing to report on that.
Huh.
So that's that's not uncommon. However, this is a massive fight. I mean, Conor McGregor fighting is a big deal.
Mhm.
Whether you like him or not, guy sells a ton of pay-per-views.
He sure
So to
does.
have nothing ironed up feels kind of clunky. I think they just hope it happens.
Yeah.
Right.
It says after the season.
It's always after the
Yeah.
season. The coaches always fight, but that doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
There have been times that hasn't happened for injury or whatever else is going on.
Martin Truex Jr. is taking home the checkered flag in the first race of the NASCAR Cup Series season. The drivers battled in Los Angeles Sunday for the second ever clash at the Coliseum. Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson rounded out the top 5 finishers. However, there was some obvious rust for many getting back behind the wheel. A total of 16 caution flags were waved during the race as
Yeah.
Truex Jr., Bauman, Larson are
Small track.
were the only drivers who avoided accidents on the night. NASCAR's 75th season continues next Thursday in Florida with duels 1 and 2 at Daytona. And that's
Okay.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh, that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, 90s
pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's
10.
going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than The Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why?
That
Big
is
Bang
the
Theory
most
is a
offensive
giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you
Young
say.
Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured you would be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again,
either
I think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Yeah.
The Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter.
Oh,
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage daughter, something
yes.
like that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And,
doubled
I
it.
had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
It
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't either.
Oh, come on.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right. Here we go. All right.
You found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta. There better be at some point you play that out,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place.
All right.
In Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne,
Mm.
right? They had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
right.
Like, you can get in here, you racist bitch. All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Use your hands on my daughter and you'll lose them after. That's rule number 1.
John Ritter is hardly that guy.
Right?
Really?
He may.
Leave.
I think only
What?
one time he played a character that was really bad.
Okay.
He mostly was the good golly G guy.
Wow, even on Problem Child, he was
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah,
Was.
he was like he could have been on SNL. Like he was what do they call it when a comedian they like hurt themselves and stuff like that? He's that type of comedian.
Okay. Like Chris Farley was,
Chris
where
Farley,
he'd fall over on tables and it wouldn't bother him any at all.
Yeah,
But that's what they want you to believe. Maybe deep down inside, he's really just a mean
sure.
asshole.
Who he is off screen is yeah, but we're talking about the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time, but you get that 1% that's never shown.
But
you know,
it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, "Come on, man."
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy,
right.
right?
All right. So number 2, you make her cry, I make you cry.
Again, not on brand with John Ritter.
Number 3, safe sex is a myth. Anything you try will be hazardous to your health.
That's just bad parenting. That's just, I mean, they're going to have sex, right? So now you're turning them away from practicing safe sex.
Right now they're going to do it just to spite you,
Yeah,
Dad.
well, it's not safe.
He's going to raw dog it just to spite your dad.
God, that word is so awesome. I hate it and love it at the same time.
All right, so number 4, you're looking at bring her home late. There's no next date. Notice how everything rhymes with these rules.
That's on John Ritter brand.
Yeah. Number 5, If you pull into my driveway and honk, you better be dropping off a package because you're sure not picking up anything else.
Who delivers stuff to your house? Who delivers stuff in honks?
I don't know.
No one.
Usually they knock on the door,
no one.
ring a doorbell.
For us,
something like that.
DoorDash,
Right.
Domino's in the time like that. No, that's not a
Sure.
thing.
It says alternative rule number 5: only delivery men honk. Dates ring the doorbell once. That was his alternative to the number 5.
Okay.
Honking.
Oh, okay.
All right. So number 6: no complaining while you're waiting for her. If you're bored, change my oil. Change, not check.
Mm.
I don't know. If you know who John Ritter was, he might mean.
He
something
did play a
completely
little
different.
Fruity Fruit on Three's Company.
Bored?
At least to Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper, he was
They
supposed to be.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Number 7: if your pants hang off your hips, I'll gladly secure them with my staple gun.
Mm.
What
Yes.
a dick.
Assault.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, not on brand for
Nope,
John Ritter.
not at all.
And lastly here, number 8 for 8 simple rules of dating my teenage daughter. Dates must be in crowded public places. You want romance, read a book.
I like it.
Again, that might be the most on brand of all of them
Yeah.
for John Ritter.
Yeah.
I had to look up whether or not John Ritter ever played a bad guy. And the only one I found was his role in the film Bad Santa. Bob Chapesca.
With Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
Was he still alive at that time? I mean,
In
apparently the internet says so, but
2003.
okay.
He was out to expose him for the hard drinking, offensive brute that Billy Bob Thornton's role was.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And John Ritter died in 2003.
Mhm.
Wow. So shortly after he did that, I guess.
Yeah.
How about that?
I feel like I saw him in a, because he was in Sling Blade, if I remember correctly, too. Like he was the friend, he was the father of the boy. Was he evil in that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Problem Child, we know him as.
Yeah.
I feel like there was he played Roy Slade. Is that right?
In Sling Blade? No.
No. Oh, he was the priest.
Mm.
That feels on brand for John Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had John Ritter on there? What they'll talk about today? Bingo card.
Yeah, not me.
Nobody.
Small town police station rocked by wild sex scandal. This is in Tennessee, where a small town police station was rocked by allegations of wild sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on-duty liaison.
What you want to say to 82945. Joining us in the studio is Jeff Hensley.
Good morning.
Maybe an adoption or any of those things. Jeff is the guy to ask. He is the person that can get you the straight answer, not what you read online, not what your friends did and worked for them, because everything's a little bit different. So you've got to call and ask your question to Jeff from Hensley and Associates. He's in the studio right now. A couple ways to get your question to us. You can email us, show@kmod.com, show@kmod.com. Or you can text BMMS and then whatever that is to 82945, or you can call it 918-460-KMOD. All right. This is an email one that came in at the end of last week. My sister is going through a divorce and she doesn't miss a chance to light him up via text, telling him how stupid he is. I've tried to warn her that that is dangerous and could bite her later. She said that it's her private conversation with him. It's fine. Could that hurt her in her custody situation?
Absolutely. Judges don't like that crap. I mean, grow up. I know you're pissed off. I know you're angry. I know it's a frustrating situation, but for the love of God, use a little bit of common sense. I mean, you may think it's a private conversation, but the next thing you know, those text messages are going to be in front of a judge somewhere. So, be aware. Whenever we're dealing with custody situations, especially, judges look to the most reasonable person, to name as primary or whatever it may be. And if you're being stupid and mouthing off every chance you get, just because you want to be a mouthy little whatever, that's fine. But understand it's going to bite you in the butt. So let's let's see, it's the old joke from Ghostbusters 2 where he says, let's exercise a little bit of self-control. Okay.
Right.
You know, it's a little bit of self-control here. It's time to act like adults, not act like kids during these situations.
So a couple things. One, I was told if it can be written down, it can be in front of a judge.
Yeah,
and that's a
absolutely.
good practice just in life.
Yeah. One thing my dad always told me growing up was, you know, when in doubt, don't, you know, okay. And this is one of those things, you know, if you have any doubts of what you're saying or what you're writing or texting or emailing or whatever it may be, or having a third party, or God forbid now social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, don't. Because all that stuff is going to be used and it can be used. Don't get the idea that it can't go in front of a judge, right? There's this pervading myth out there that I've dealt with a lot of people lately of, well, you can't use that stuff in court. Bull. We use it all the time. So don't tell me you can't use it, because we do use it. All of us use it, all right? Because if you're doing stupid things, we want to show the judge you're being stupid, especially if you're making threats or you're tearing down the other parent in front of everybody. It's going to be used. So come on, people.
If you are on the receiving end of that type of verbal assault or text assault, what should you do?
Don't respond. Okay. I mean, that's
really,
first thing.
really important. I was thinking more like preserving the evidence, if you will,
Well,
but no,
that
I
too.
think that's a really great point
It's
do not
twofold,
respond.
Right. It's twofold. Okay. Number one, don't respond, because normally when people do that stuff, what are they doing? They're goading you.
Yeah.
All right. They're looking for a response. All right. It's kind of like the old adage, you know, if you don't respond to a bully, they kind of go away. Well, kind of the same thing here. If you just don't respond, because when you respond in kind, that doesn't help your case in any way, shape, or form. So don't respond. But number two, oh yeah, archive that crap. Absolutely. Save every bit of it. Screenshots, recordings, whatever you want to do, that's great. I mean, if they want to be stupid, let's show the judge how stupid they are.
And do you bring that up to your attorney and say, hey, I've got some text messages where the other party is berating me or belittling me? Is there a way we can use? How do you bring that up to your attorney? How do you like it brought up to you?
Well, I mean, I always tell them, you know, look, you know, if there's anything going on social media by the other party, whether it be them, you know, saying, hey, I just got high on heroin and I'm, you know, I'm at the club and you know, I'm
it's a weird text conversation.
I'm doing lines off a hooker, you know, or something, you know, say those kind of things, but also too, you know, anything that can be used against them, anything to show that they're being irrational, unreasonable, ridiculous, threatening, whatever it may be. We want to be able to save and use those things. So yeah, absolutely. Bring that up to your attorney.
Jeff from Hensley & Associates here. If you have a question about divorce, custody, adoptions, name changes, any of those family law questions, Jeff is here to answer them right now. The phone number, 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. You can text your question, BMMS, and whatever that is, to 82945. This one says, my husband insists the kids go to school exactly in between where he lives and I live. I moved to where I did for the schools. And if we split the difference, it's in a school I don't think is good for them. If we can't agree, what happens when we go to court?
Well, a lot of times what we'll do in these situations is the judge will appoint a parenting coordinator, and then the parenting coordinator will make the recommendation as to what school the child should go to. I've also had judges give opinions or orders, if you will, on where the child will go. It just depends. I mean, the quicker, easier, much faster way to do things would be through a parenting coordinator as opposed to a court, because with the court, you file a motion to deal with schools, and obviously it takes a long time to be heard. I once had a judge out in Wagner that took over a year to make a ruling on the particular issue, despite my best attempts at all the motions I could file to get him to make the ruling. It finally took a threat of taking it to the Supreme Court to get a ruling. But my point of it is that a quicker way is always a parenting coordinator to decide where a kid should go to school. So,
and that costs money. I mean, it is in your best interest to get that figured out before a parenting coordinator is involved, right?
Yeah. I mean, the idea is, you know, as parents, part of co-parenting is figuring these things out. But we also have a parenting coordinator in our statutes. It says a parenting coordinator's whole responsibility or their whole job is to try and help the parties learn to communicate. In addition to making recommendations and findings, their whole job is to help you guys, us, people, parents, learn to communicate. So it's a very good tool to have because you can get it heard for a lot less money and a lot less time than a traditional motion modifier, motion whatever.
Okay, so this is going to
That
be
answer your question?
Yes, but I have a second part that I might
Okay.
be a little tough, and I may be delving into an area I've heard you say on air you don't like to get into, and that is advice on how to parent. When do you hold your ground and when do you give it up? If I'm your client and I come to you and go, I don't want them at that school. I don't want to have to drive to the other side of town.
You mean after recommendation has been made?
Well, when you're arguing about it before it goes to a parenting coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much when you're going through a divorce do you stay dug in?
That depends on. So first of all, every divorce is different, as you said before. So it's kind of you got to look at it from a global perspective. Is this the hill you want to die on? Is this the hill you don't want to die on? I mean, some people don't care as much about schools, even though they say they do, because they're more worried about this issue or that issue or whatever it may be. So it's really up to the individual. But at the same time, too, we've got to look at it globally and see, well, if we give up on if we give this up, what are we getting? What can we get? That kind of thing. So it's really an individual decision. Some people don't really care about where the kids go to school as much as others do. But, that's when I would say, let's think about a parenting coordinator and let that person decide. Now, if a PC makes a recommendation you don't agree with, all right, we have 10 days from the date that the PC recommendation is filed with the court to file an objection. And then the court hears the issue and the court makes a determination.
So if the parenting coordinator makes the recommendation, you got to have a pretty good reason to object to it.
Correct.
And if it does, and it goes to a judge, you're kind of, not that a judge isn't going to make the right decision, but you're kind of leaving it. That's kind of a dangerous game, isn't it?
It's not dangerous because it's not like the judge is going to penalize you for objecting. I mean, the judge's job is not there to penalize you just because you objected to something or didn't agree with something that the parenting coordinator said. I mean, you have an absolute right to file an objection and have it heard by a court. So it's not like they're going to penalize you. But you do have to have a pretty good reason as to why you don't believe the PC made a good decision.
What would one of those be? What would be a good reason to object to a PC's recommendation in a divorce custody situation?
I've only had a few objections that I've had to file in 15 years. So, it's a rare occurrence. And it's usually, I don't know that there is. I mean, there are obviously have to be good reasons in some ways. I just can't think of them right now. I've
They're
just not had
unique.
very many.
What I'm
They're
hearing,
unique to each
unique.
situation. Yeah, they're very unique to each situation.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley & Associates. If you have a question about divorce, custody, or guardianship, call us at 918-460-KMOD, 918-460-KMOD. This one says, a text we got back last week says, I just started a new job and can't attend a court hearing for child support. Can I have it postponed?
Yeah, I mean, if you're unable to appear, but typically it would have to be a really good reason these days because since the pandemic, they've been doing all the child support hearings at least through if it's through DHS, they do it all by phone. So we don't have any more in-person child support administrative hearings anymore. They don't do that, and they haven't done that since the pandemic hit. So everything's done by phone at that point. If it's in district court and you're doing a modification or something with child support, then you're going to have to file a motion to continue. Just like if you don't have an attorney, you've got to file a motion to continue, just like everybody else, because you're going to be held to the same standard as an attorney if you're being pro se or meaning representing yourself. So can you? Absolutely. Doesn't mean the judge has to grant it, but if you're stuck training in Siberia and there's no phone or internet signal or whatever, I'm sure there's a good reason, but sometimes things have to be continued. You can't control when people get sick or when people die or when babies are born. I mean, there's different reasons why to continue something. And yes, you can always make that request.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley & Associates, 918-460-KMOD, or text your question, BMMS, and whatever that is, to 82945. This one says, my wife and I decided to get divorced. She's saying I have to move out.
Nope.
Can you stay in the house together?
You can. The typical term we use for that is called nesting, particularly is what it's called. But, a lot of people don't separate or don't move out of situations like that because they simply can't afford to have two households. Not everybody has that financial ability to pay for two different households until the divorce is complete, right? So a lot of times they'll stay in the same house, and one will stay in one bedroom on one side of the house and the other in another bedroom, or one upstairs, one down, whatever it may be. You don't have to move out just because she's saying you've got to get out. That's not the case. No one's requiring you. No one's forcing you. Nothing in the law says somebody has to move out. All right. Now, if it gets too nasty, meaning lots of fighting and then it becomes physical and everything else or whatever, then you should probably think about moving out at that point. But, there's no requirement that you do move out unless you want to make that choice.
What if the house that they live in together is in her name or just his name?
Doesn't matter. It's marital because you're living there as a married couple. So it's a marital residence. So you both have a right to be there. It doesn't matter whose name it is. I mean, sometimes houses are put in particular names because of credit. One's got better credit than the other, and that's really all it amounts to. So, you have a right to be there until the judge tells you otherwise.
Is there a benefit to staying in?
From a financial standpoint, absolutely.
But in the court's eyes?
The court doesn't care.
Does the court go, well, she moved out, she must not care, or he moved out, he must not care?
The only time that's ever applied that I've, at least in my personal practice, that I've ever seen any judges care about it is when, for example, I had a case one time where I represented the wife and she moved out and went to another state. Now, when I say that, it sounds even worse than it is, but really she just went over to Fayetteville. So just
right, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, not too far away because she was looking for a job and she wanted to move there, blah, blah, blah. And then she was going to come back and get the kids when she got established. Well, and this all happened before I got hired. So, but by the time that happened, that's when it looks like abandonment. And I shouldn't say that word because I hate using the word, but the judge will look and say, well, you can't say that he's a horrible dad because you left him in his care for that time you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you've got to be careful, because when you move out and don't get to see them at all, but then want to make the argument that she's a piece of garbage, unless you can truly prove that because of something that's gone on rather than she just won't let you see the kids, you got to be careful with that about moving out. So, I always tell people, if you choose to move out, take the kids with you. If you can. Not everybody can do that, but, if you can, do that. You don't want to run into that situation what I described before a second ago, where you've now moved far away and said, well, I only did it because I was setting up, getting ready, blah, blah, blah. And I told him I was coming back for the kids. Well, our argument is now out the door.
There's a weird thing that happens with family law, and all the time we've been talking about this. There's a balance between, and it seems to only fall on the one I'm about to say, is holding your ground. Right. And what the court wants you to do, what the court will see as good. Like, you think you're doing what you're supposed to, like go get a job.
Well, and again, you have to look at it from every judge is different. And what I mean by that is yes, they're supposed to follow the law, but the family law statutes are, how can I put this? The statutes are written such that there is a ton of discretion compared to criminal, compared to car wrecks, compared to all the other civil statutes out there. Okay. Family law is given the most leeway in the area of discretion of the judge, or the judge deciding based upon their own personal experiences and their practices and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they have so much more gray to work with. They have a much bigger gray area to work with than any other area of the law, in my opinion. And because of that, every judge there may be, what ruling you may get from one judge is not the same ruling you may get from another judge. They have to stay, quote, within the confines of the law. But again, because based upon this big gray area, things different. So I will say that is one of the hardest parts about being a family law attorney. One of the hardest parts is being able to understand and know what every single judge in every single county that you practice in. So it's not like I have to worry about one judge being all the same. All right. So in Tulsa, for example, we have 4 family law judges here in Tulsa. You've got 2 in Wagner. You've got 2 or 3 in Rogers. You've got 2 or 3. I mean, all of a sudden it goes from 1 to, like, next thing I know, I've got like 50 different individuals now across the state that I have to know what they are, how they rule, what I think they're going to do. And that's part of why you want an attorney, people. All right. We know these things. We practice these counties. We deal with these judges every day. Okay. And we have for years. And so it's one of those things, you want somebody with that knowledge so you know how to attack or go into that particular situation with that particular judge.
Right. Knowing that in a hypothetical scenario, this judge likes to have coffee with both attorneys before, whatever the nuance is.
Right. Exactly.
It's important to hire someone that knows and practices in that community.
Exactly.
And when it comes to practicing in different, or you've got a situation with another courthouse, you said it. You've got to have an attorney that does it for you. If you try and go in there, I'm going to say this because I don't think you will. Maybe you will. Judges don't like when you come into the courtroom acting like you know how to be an attorney or an officer of the court when you've got no training.
Yeah, and it's an interesting conundrum because if you represent yourself pro se, you're supposed to be held to, the judge is supposed to hold you to the same standard as an attorney. But at the same time, too, it kind of hacks them off a little bit if you try to
feel like
act
it's
like
insulting.
an attorney. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And there's a couple cases here in Tulsa I'm aware of. They're not mine. I've not dealt with them, but stories of people who are pro se who try to act way more than even an attorney would act. And it really just pisses the judges off. So, yeah. I would agree with what you said. Absolutely.
This text comes in and says, what happens next when a custody agreement expires?
Read that again.
What happens next when a custody agreement expires?
Well,
they would age out, right?
They would age out. So nothing except the kid ages out. A custody agreement is never going to just quote unquote expire until the child ages out. So once they turn 18 or graduate high school, then it's gone.
Right. It doesn't apply to that child.
So
right.
Custody agreement, once it's made, it's done. It's 18 years.
No. Custody agreements can always be modified. So custody visitation, child support, alimony, all those things can always be modified. You can't modify property and those kind of deals, but custody, visitation, child support, and alimony in certain specific situations can be modified all the way until the age of 18. So there are some people that like to cause problems and modify it every year. I call them serial modifiers. That's the law by Jeff. That's my particular term. I've never heard anybody else use it, but that's my term. And I won't copyright it. So other attorneys out there, feel free to use it. But at the same time, too, you get some of those people that just modify. And it can always be modified until the age of 18. So
what if they have a custody agreement that's stated like, okay, this is how it's going to work for the first 5 years? What if that's what they're talking about?
Well, you would follow that, also understanding that it can be modified along the time within that 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, if it's like, if this is an agreement, I've never seen one like this, by the way, Lindsay. But if it were like that, I would imagine the attorneys would have contemplated what's after year 5, moving forward. But again, it can always be modified because, where we are now as people in 2023 is not necessarily where we are physically, emotionally, financially, whatever in 2028. There's always a way to modify it.
This text comes in, catching the tail of what we were just talking. Will DHS continue collecting back child support after the child ages out?
Yes. Just because a kid ages out does not eliminate your requirement to pay what you owe. So if you have a huge back support, absolutely. They'll continue to collect until it's down to 0 or it's forgiven by the other party.
This one's a little Jerry Springer.
Yes.
My brother's husband's friend just got divorced and now sleeping with my brother, and the husband, my brother-in-law, wants to try and get alimony. Is that a thing? They have 4 adopted kids together. Can you go back after the fact and get alimony?
Wait a minute. Do you have
a Venn diagram? No.
No, I was going to say, do you have a dry erase marker? Can we draw this out?
My brother's husband's friend just got divorced and now sleeping with my brother, and the husband / my brother-in-law wants to try and get alimony. Is that a thing? They have 4 adopted kids together.
Getting alimony after an order's been entered is super uber difficult. It's not usually done. In fact, I've only ever heard of one situation, and it was a very rare occurrence. So usually once a decree has been entered, the alimony argument's out the door. I would need to know more specifics on this case before I could give a solid final answer on that. But yeah, that is very Jerry Springer. So rock on.
Yeah, usually when it's over when it comes to a divorce decree, right?
With the exception of the things that can be modified that I just mentioned before. But yeah, typically it is.
Look, I think we've pointed out that doing this on your own is a very dangerous process. You won't know where the sand traps are. You won't know where the problem areas are or the things you need to be buttoned up on. That's why you hire an attorney. You don't want to go with what your friends, brothers, sisters-in-laws, cousins told them.
Next door neighbor's plumber.
You want to do what is supposed to happen in the courtroom to give you the best outcome that you deserve, because you deserve to be happy and have no stress when it comes to your family law situation. So hire somebody that knows what they're doing. And the folks at Hensley & Associates are that. 918-398-5692, 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. And you guys do family law. That's what you specialize in. But you do other types of court cases as well.
Right. So our office up in Pawhuska handles all of our other ones. So if you've got a criminal case, give us a call. We can get you hooked up with that. If you've got a big civil case, if you've got a car wreck, if you've got a, I was going to say, Madonna, if you're listening, we'd be happy to represent you in that medical malpractice for the awful plastic surgery. We'd be happy to represent when we do those kind of cases as well. So, if you've got anything else outside family law, if you need a will or a trust or you're going through probate and you need an attorney for that, all of our other offices up there handle that. And we also have an attorney up there that is handling immigration. So if you are needing help in an immigration case, please give us a call. We'll get you hooked up with her, and she can handle that for you. So
918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Mention KMOD. Get that free consultation over the phone. 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Jeff, have a great week.
Hey, you too.
Take a break, and we'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show.
Community. I mean,
I'm not buying this.
They're saying that the discoveries like this at the petrol stations are pretty common. I guess in
finding penises at a gas station is common.
Not necessarily penises, but in 2021, they said that a body of a man aged in his 20s was located.
But was his penis intact?
Mm-hmm.
So what's common then?
Finding bodies
and body parts, I guess.
Yes, at this particular gas station.
I'm not buying this. The story doesn't cite a news source other than Boing Boing and Daily Star. It doesn't refer to, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't go to like a local place.
Right. You think something like that would make local news, at least headlines.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I'm not buying it because that's a crazy story that a penis was found in a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
maybe this is a hot spot for like lot lizards. And one trucker was like, "Hey, baby, you here for a good time?" And this lady, this lot lizard, climbs into the truck, and then the dude finds out that it's a dude, and he's like, "Ow, no, you've got a dong," and then slices it off, and then tosses it out the window, and then continues carrying his load to Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And I would think the Mobile Police Department would have this on their site. Like on their Facebook or something.
Oh, they got nothing on there either.
Not that I can see.
Fake news.
And they're keeping it hush hush until they know more.
Oh, it's the Russians.
Hey, we don't know whose penis this is. If anybody has details, let us know.
Or they're probably looking at the tapes trying to investigate that truck. Kind of like the Idaho murders.
Which
they
was
were being
what?
quiet
All
until
over
they had more.
It was all over the news.
But they weren't saying what they had. That's why like the parents were being so disgruntled.
So Daily Star,
time.
some weird rag got the break.
Well, they're the only ones running with it.
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying, right? It's a great story.
Well, Lindsay, I'll see your severed schlong and raise you a giant dildo. Shoplifter caught trying to steal a giant 30-inch dildo. This happens in West Hollywood at the Circus of Books, which was formerly known as Chi-Chi LaRue's. It's not really important, but it's a funny name nonetheless. So the video's on our Facebook page, and they say that this drunken patron stumbles into the Circus of Books. You see him walking around a little bit, and then they go over and they wrap both arms around this giant 30-inch black dildo and then just walk right on out the door with it. But one of the employees, Marcus Blackwell, says that they were ready like Freddy. His quote: They went out there. They chased the person down. They retrieved the big black schlong, and they brought it back, and they put it back on display where they picked it up at. Now, they didn't say whether they called the cops or anything like that, but they did say that this big black rubber wiener can be yours for $699.95.
Wow.
So 30 inches, damn near to a doorknob, right?
Uh-huh.
Doorknob's 36 inches.
Yeah.
That's not even the story. The story is how girthy it is.
Boy, it's massive. I've got the measurements right here. This massive black is 30 inches. It says here that it measures at 30.7 inches, so that's the height.
Yeah.
And 6.88 inches wide at the base, and then 11 inches wide at the
end.
The end.
So it's, I mean,
testicle area.
It's like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's a big bitch. It is huge. That is not for use. That's strictly for display.
In the video, she grabs it with one arm and it almost falls off. That's how top.
It's a big one. It's a honker.
Yeah. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, do you know how much it is?
How much, price wise?
Yeah.
Yeah, $699.95 plus tax.
I go to a sex shop and I'm like, $30.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to spend $700 for something that'll just sit in the corner and get dusty.
A lot of people, it's payday today, and you're like, "Whoo, no, I've been saved."
Valentine's Day's coming up.
Hey man, we're going out. Can't saving up. Saving up. Got to get a sex toy.
I call this day spa or dispensary.
Mhm.
Okay. So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Oh, fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50-50
Don't I know
chance. There's no point in, hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay.
Like a little nug, maybe? A prize?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
God knows you
Trip to a
have
day
plenty.
spa?
Right. So day spa or dispensary, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphora. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphora is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Day spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. La Fusion is a day spa. Poppies, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That
yes.
is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppies is a day spa. 2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Correct.
What'd you say?
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that
Sure.
are really close.
I just
and
couldn't
could be
hear. I didn't
confused.
hear you
Yeah.
because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I didn't know it was
I
letters.
wonder what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary? 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
3-2. One Love Wellness. Day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a
They do
dispensary called
massages.
Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold. not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
semantic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right. Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo. Lindsay is a day spa. So far, it's 4-2, Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. I love useless information.
Oh, yeah.
I'm constantly on the hunt for it. And the amount of useless things I cultivate and put to the side and never use is endless. And then when it's time to recall it, I'm like, I know a thing. So these are some of those. I don't know. Have you ever been to the park and fed the ducks or the geese or whatever?
Yeah.
What do you take?
Bread, crackers, or whatever. Yeah, whatever's left over in the pantry about to expire.
Sour cream and onion chips or bugles or whatever.
Well, apparently giving bread to ducks is really bad for them because it ruins their digestive system.
Yeah.
So you're killing ducks.
Like, I don't care.
So now when you go and you see that, just laugh that those people are killing ducks. So this one's a little deep, so bear with me. Control, Shift, and T will restore an accidentally closed tab. So if you've ever been on your computer and a tab closes, Control, Shift, and T will bring that tab back.
Well, that's fun.
And Control, Alt, Shift, T will bring back a window you accidentally closed.
Well, that's a lot to be pressing at one time.
For you, yes.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, that's fun to know because there's been plenty of times that I'll just be buzzing around and accidentally hit the X button and it closes. Yeah. I got to start all over again. Okay, Control Shift.
All right. You're probably out of luck, but this one I learned not too long ago, but antiperspirant and deodorant are not the same thing. Antiperspirant stops you from sweating. Deodorant covers up the smell of sweating.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer?
I don't wear it.
At all? You Mr. Stinky Pits all day, every day, huh?
I mean, I don't stink.
Okay. I guess it helps to do something.
I don't stink.
Even after when you're rolling around.
No, I mean, if I'm like doing yard work or, sweating it up, yes, of course.
I have to put deodorant on every day. And if I don't, because there's been times that I forget, I've had to go and buy a small little travel size stick for here because I'm like, I feel weird. I feel weird without any on. And then I feel like I can smell it.
Do you shave your armpit hair?
I trim. I don't shave.
Right. Yeah.
I don't shave bald down like a lady or whatever. But yeah, I knock that stuff down. But yeah, that seems to be a trend nowadays where ladies are letting it grow out like man length armpit hairs and like dyeing it or just letting it be.
Dyeing it.
And I find that the most disgusting thing ever.
I don't think that's common.
I don't think it is either. I think maybe it's like a handful.
Okay.
Some people are doing it. I didn't learn until like in my 40s to trim my armpit hair.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. You get all poking out like you got buckwheat in a headlock.
No one ever told me.
Or shave down yonder.
I've talked about that.
Trim that as well. You stinking ass.
Yeah, it looks like an abandoned house. Yeah. Humans do use 100% of their brain.
What? I mean,
it's a myth that you use only 10%. Your brain can't handle walking and using your smartphone at the same time.
You can't handle walking, and I do it.
Can't handle walking and your smartphone at the same time. This says each activity uses the same cognitive functions. So you can be walking along, looking at Twitter, and not notice that the moving object coming toward you is a car.
Because you got your face buried in the phone. Pay attention. Look up every now and again.
But you can talk on the phone and do it, right?
Looking ahead.
The one who walks straight into a passerby because we're busy texting. Try not to be that person because your brain can't handle it.
I guess it makes sense. I always chalked it up to just dirt, not looking, not paying attention because you're busy looking at your phone.
Yeah, you're not paying attention because you can't.
Right.
Remember the limits of 3 in human endurance. You can go 3 minutes without air, 3 hours in extreme conditions without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. Assuming you're breathing, then your priorities in a survival situation are shelter, water, food, in that order.
Interesting.
Which explains why Naked and Afraid is only 21 days.
Yeah.
Because you might be doing a 21-day start. Have you watched some of those specials about people that do deep water diving and how long they hold their air?
Well, I know they can hold it for a damn long time. Very impressive.
It's crazy. And then the whole they can't come to the surface too fast thing because they'll die.
Right.
I try to do sports that don't involve a chance of me dying. That's just me being a beta. I just try not to do that type of thing. Right.
Hold your breath and dive to the bottom of the ocean.
I think we all know this one. You can't extinguish an oil fire with water.
No.
Yeah, about that.
Use a blanket or flour or something. This one's awesome. Any month that begins on a Sunday will have a Friday the 13th.
Okay, I've heard that before. Yeah.
World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. World War I officially ended on October 3rd, 2010. So next time you're at the bar trying to strung up some conversation, let that be one for you. Apparently, that was the day Germany paid its reparations under the Treaty of Versailles.
Wow. And we had a whole another World War after that. Or
I'm still trying to do this one.
Real,
yeah.
That Germany, man, just like a bunch of plates in the air.
All right. Get it together, Germany.
This one's crazy, too. And my left-handed listeners are going to be like, hell yeah. On average, 2,500 left-handed people die each year from using products designed for right-handed people. 2,300 a year.
That's a lot.
Die. 2,300 a year.
Goodness.
Die.
Damn Southpaws can't handle life.
Are you left-handed, Lindsay?
No. I have
Gimpy?
a son that is.
Yeah. I'm just asking. I don't think everybody knows which hand's your gimp hand.
No, I am far from left-handed. No.
Well, you're not far.
Right. No, I'm
Literally
not.
the other choice.
This is like right here. But no, I can't. I mean, no.
Your
No,
left hand is your gimp hand.
I very well could have been born left-handed and then just have to figure out and adapt and
Oh my
overcome
gosh.
throughout life.
What if you are left-handed this whole time? That's what's been holding you back on all these things you ever wanted to achieve that you can't.
Right.
You're really a left-handed person.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy to think about.
But we never know because this is the only good hand. That's the only thing you can do with it. You only got this one.
Nothing felt right with Gimpy until he learned that he was left-handed. Dude, 2,500 is a ridiculous number.
Yeah, that's
a
lot.
year.
That's a lot.
What are they using that's right-hand dominant besides scissors and a can opener that messes them up? And that is me being an ignorant right-hander.
Right.
What things are left-handed that cause danger where you could die?
I mean, because they have left-handed scissors.
Yeah.
Yes, but you'd have to go look for them, right? And you're hardly going to die using right-handed scissors.
No. Okay, so left-handed products, notebooks. Just tell me if you think this could kill anybody. Notebooks.
Hold on. Left-handed notebook? You mean flip it over?
I guess.
Okay.
Because I'm looking for left-handed products. Lefties rule, left-handed wide ruled notebooks, set of 3 assorted colors. So notebooks, scissors, can opener, which I didn't know existed, a barbecue mitt. Okay. A mouse, a left-handed mouse. I guess that makes sense.
I don't know where the danger is there.
A ruler, measuring cup, playing cards, pins, corkscrew.
Here we go. These are the worst products for left-handed people.
Okay.
Doors and handrails.
Why?
I gotta be honest. I've never walked up to something and been like, "Oh, this is a left-handed rail." It's like I don't know how to use it. I feel less. Okay. Doors. Okay.
now that I think of it, my left-handed son does have problems with the doors, like when they're locked and like unlocking.
Well, when they're
them,
locked,
the
yeah, they'd be
double
hard to open.
bolt. Yes, but he does struggle with them. He's the only one.
I didn't
in the
know.
House.
Yeah, but I don't. Are they intended to be right-hand turns? You're saying locks, like to turn it to unlocking.
Yep.
It's like turning a screwdriver, right? It's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Mhm.
That's just the way it is. That's not. I don't. Okay. All things measuring cups, rulers, tape measures are designed to be held in the right hand. If you want to measure something left-handed, you have to read it upside down or backwards.
Okay.
Okay, so like a measuring cup,
yeah.
but okay. Yeah. Dangerous though? I don't know. Watches,
Okay.
the winding buttons are on the wrong side if you're left-handed. Kitchen utensils. Dinner tables.
A whole table?
It says that odds are very good that most of the people at your table are right-handed. If you sit at a righty and a lefty together, I think my wife's left-handed.
Oh,
and
yeah, you'd be bumping elbows. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never heard her complain about one thing being dangerous.
Well, secondly, why you gotta have your arms and elbows so stretched out when you're trying to eat? Come on, man. Just
Instruments.
okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Okay.
Trowels, rotary cutters, paint rollers, box cutters, utility knives, wire cutters, strippers. Wait, so wire cutters are righty or lefty?
I never thought about that.
I thought they were just
Pretty universal.
I guess if you think about it, the concave when you cut the wire is on the right-hand side.
Okay.
So if you're a lefty, wouldn't you just still keep it on the... Okay.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Alarm clocks. I think that's a little old school. Pins and chains on signature machines.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see how that's dangerous. Zippers. Huh? I didn't know zippers were right-hand dominant.
I didn't either.
Cameras, I totally get, right? Because they fold open and then, okay. Computers, a mouse. Okay, sure. If you try and put your mouse on the other side and use your left hand. Right? It's a little, it's challenging.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah. Especially if they got the little concaveness for your carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Knives, power tools, pens and pencils. Why not just say everything?
Right. Some good text messages. A chainsaw in particular. Starting one of those up.
Are they? I mean,
if you hold it.
Again, I'm ignorant to this, so I'm just thinking. It feels awkward as a right-hander starting a motor chainsaw.
Yeah.
But the starter is on the right-hand side. So if you are a right-hander, it would be easier.
I just leave it on the ground and pull it that way.
Put my foot on it.
Yeah.
Right. You can buy left-handed rifles and shotguns.
Okay.
Most lawn equipment is right-handed. Harleys used to be right foot shift, which caused deaths from people used to left foot shifting foreign bikes. Meaning in an emergency, they'd stomp the shifter instead of the brake. Well, they're stupid.
Right.
What? That's like going, I drove on the right side of the car and then they moved it to the left and now I don't know how to operate it. Yeah, apparently 2,500 deaths. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning.
9 times. Do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. No, it was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back,
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity, trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be past because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really weigh, because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have Not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless. Like, what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I mean,
not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at
a
that
man.
point, are you, Scott? You're
Well,
Mhm.
you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
Either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Up to with her
let's
with a
be real.
pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that. Like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right. Be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having bed at 9. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
no, I'm don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm and every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh,
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I gotta be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just gonna be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I
Corbin.
made a
You
stupid
better
mistake
get users.
and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Time to find out what everybody learned. We're going to start with Lindsay. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
Well, I'm convinced that the takedown of the Chinese spy balloon is the plot for the next Top Gun movie. And I also learned that I've got to be more of a helicopter mom for the sake of my left-handed son. His life could depend on it.
Well, at least 2,500 other kids could be in danger if you were to say. Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
Well, I learned that stolen Shrek statue looks way better than Madonna currently does. And I also learned that you shouldn't ever have to power through eating anything your wife has to offer you.
I learned that I don't know what these lefties are complaining about. And I've also stake it for a Shrek statue. It's a Madonna statue. It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay, stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy. I'm sorry.
Far too kind.
Yeah. Ready? Like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping
don't.
around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up. You're having company come over.
Another one, overstaying your welcome.
Right?
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Going opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why? What
Because
gives
you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening, going, "Wait, what are we talking about?"
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip.
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm
That's what
talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right, or
everything
don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, "Where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl?" Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that, but now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like I said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No.
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side.